Guess you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries, let's flow for now. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. You say I make you nervous, a tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster, a reckoning. You wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh. You think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face. Got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you break your back to make me feel again. Suffocate to make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came. I stopped asking for forgiveness, cause you should know only fools tread with the angels. Fear to go, but you keep trying to get too close. Save myself by turning into stone. So save your judgment cause you just don't know. But some things never change, never change. Oh, they say I should feel guilty and change my ways, leaving crumpled bodies in my wake. Swear I didn't mean to make them break, swear I didn't mean to make them break. But they're so delicate and so mundane, and they keep coming like a moth to a flame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You break your back to make me feel again. Suffocate to make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came. crawl around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly, I can fly, I can fly, I can fly. We crawl around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly, I can fly, I can fly, I can fly. We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are, mysterious. That's the part you always show, 'cause you're too curious. Maybe you should The seasons come and go like thoughts of you. Like a wave returns to the sea, into the blue. They change but in a cycle that I can't lose. Each painful but delightful to live through. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Maybe this time next year you'll reappear for no reason, but I'll cherish every day until you come my way this season. Seasons turn and change just like your mind. Like the sun gives into the moon, into the night. Time continues marching, it slowly crawls. With each new one starting, I recall. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Maybe this time next year you'll reappear for no reason, but I'll cherish every day until you come my way this season. Time of year carries memories like a never fading whisper in the breeze. Oh, we will keep on changing all over again. Yeah, we will keep on changing just like another season. Don't want another day without you by my side. Oh, this season. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Just like another season.
Still as a breeze, the river flowing deep. Don't wanna leave the air you breathe. Living me dreams when I think of you and me. Don't wanna leave the world you see, and I will hold you down if love is still alive. It's all forgiven to my eyes. The tide has turned around. Just listen to the sound. Two hearts beating messing with my head again. You had your heart set on me, but these feels, they come and go, and they come so easily. Tell me what it is about you that I can't forget, but you're breaking down my walls again, just to set me free. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling?
Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Ban.
Coming.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Radiant team pick.
The first game of this best of 3 between Hellbear Smashers and Team Nigma coming on your screens here in the upper division of the Western European DPC League. You're watching Dream League Season 15 already, and it's powered by Intel, of course. And for this game, in case you missed it, Miracle will not be playing today, and instead there's a stand-in. Coach Arman is standing in for him, and we do not yet know what the roles will be for these players. So we're going to find out what's going to happen. We are in the draft already. Ancient Apparition first pick. We saw that actually working out very well yesterday for Brain.
Wow. And they ban the heroes that AA actually can usually do that. That's a bit intriguing. Look at that.
That's the thing.
But it's the savers. You know, they're so popular. Nigma, they do end up taking the other saver, and they do take one of my new favorite heroes, I think, after yesterday in particular, and after watching some SEA games too. Willow on the rise.
Oh, yeah.
I can still respect the idea of the bans, which is like, AA is the counter to these heroes, but the pace that these heroes enable cores to play at is like, if you don't connect on your ultimate and you aren't able to match the tempo with a good enough lineup, it can be hard to truly get the AA into the game. So yeah, if Smashers aren't happy to play into that style, I can see why they're still banning them out for sure.
Yeah, and we do see from Nigma very appropriate bans too. Of course, the Invoker, as everybody does kind of do, versus Smashers.
Yeah, they would first phase pick it.
Yeah.
Gotta respect that.
Gotta respect that he changed his style too, because I guess I've said it a couple times in the cast too. He was an Exort only.
Yeah.
And then he actually, this season, he transitioned to Quas Wex, which I think is pretty huge, even though the hero has, of course, gotten his changes and whatnot, done some nerfs for God knows what reasons.
Yeah, for sure. Like when I was coaching the team, yeah, he pretty much every game after, he'd be like, yeah, this was a good Exalt game, guys. And it's like, So when they're running at us and we needed it, it's like, yeah, no, but like my Midas, this helped me. It's like he was very much bringing the Invoker as the pub style Invoker where he was just playing for his timings. But yeah, he has improved immensely on a hero that he has so many games on, just kind of identifying exactly what he needs for the team, and that's why there's so much respect in the band for sure.
Yeah, I mean I know that feeling. Everyone was playing Coswex back in the day when I played it. I strictly played Exort.
Yeah,
and I lost most of my games. No, I did okay. I did okay. I was pretty bad anyway.
There's something with an Invoker player when they can queue up a Midas. It's like, don't worry guys, we'll get the Sunstrike kills. It's like, it doesn't always work like that, Chief.
Okay, so we got the AA with the Tiny. I actually really like the combo with this. I think it just makes Tiny so much more threatening. The burst potential, it actually is back to what it used to be, that 3x avalanche kind of thing, even more so when they are under it. They do reveal both supports on the side of Nigma with the start too, which is usually a bit of a concern.
Yeah,
teams can take advantage of it a little bit.
I guess so, but I feel like in this scenario, the supports are so strong
they are.
It's not like you're showing like, if this was like ABBA +1, like an ABBA AA, or even like the AA Tiny, that's when I'd be concerned a little bit. But they already have immense team fight and laning presence that you can deal with a counter pick because your carry will have a free time farming with Warlock Hill. You can pick any offlaner to enable the Willow, so it's not the weakest of support openings.
No, definitely true. Yeah, so Centaur taken out.
I kind of feel like this might indicate a Tiny core with these type of bans. The idea of you want to be able to jump and kill something, and it just ensures that this mid Tiny will have a good time. And even kind of Ember as well. Even though we saw in the low division, Tiny did pretty well, but that was more just an outplay.
He first blooded him. That kind of changes the whole dynamic.
I wanted you to add that disclaimer real quick.
Yeah, that is very true. No, I do like these bands. We see the Wraith King and the Medusa band, very popular. What Ace has been looking the strongest on, because besides that, he has been suffering a little bit on some of the other heroes that he gets forced on. His Voids, the Arc Warden, even though it was a very particular hero for him. They actually were close to winning that game. It was very close when he did play it, but it was a couple little slip-ups. Did cost him that one.
Yeah, that's the story of the Hellbear Smashers. They had some very close games, but they didn't win him.
Yeah.
Best of twos would have been Smash's best friend.
Yeah, it would have actually, because they would have had 1-1 against most people.
They'd be middle pack with 3 draws.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, no, they still lost 0-2 to Liquid. So
okay, they'd be middle pack with 3 draws and a loss, all right?
Yeah.
Twist the knife.
Bottom of the middle. Bottom of the middle.
Smash's fan. Oh, Jesus.
It's all good. So the Willow and the Warlock coming out for Team Nigma, we saw them do that against Brame as well in the second game that they played last Saturday against each other. And of course that support duo gave Team Nigma the turning point in that series, particularly where they set a very high pace, high tempo.
The key thing about that series, though, they had a kind of the 1-2 punch of win condition on mid with a very sacrificial carries. The Medusa mid, the Juggernaut safe lane, and I'm a little bit... Yeah, the center offlane, exactly. I'm a little bit skeptical that when you have the roster issues where Miracle's not playing and RMN, that style of play might not really come into effect. And I think it really depends on what they're doing. I'm very interested to see how they kind of bring RMN into the squad and unlock the draft. And I guess it's a little bit easier that they have RTW in the draft compared to like a Wii in this scenario, unfortunately.
I think the duo supports also sets them up for so many things. Like you said, strong lanes, but your team fight's just set already. Like no matter what you pick as your cores, you're going to have good team fight in the mid game always because of these two setups. So, I mean, I really do like the opener actually is quite nice.
So what offlane is actually left? Well, basically all of them actually. So
most of them
banned out.
Only the Ascent's banned, yeah. So we got still the Timbersaw, the Darkseer. We've seen Team Nigma dabble in that one as well. The Mars.
I love it with the Willow.
As well.
Yeah,
it's super good, very aggressive. You can take advantage of a little bit of the AA, where you're sure your lane's getting a little better, it seems, for AA, but you're super squishy. And these two heroes, you get caught in a bramble. Actually, you're going to get caught probably in 2 because the spear will bring you through it and you're just dead. You have such a low HP pool. It's a very strong, aggressive lane.
That's the nice thing because like AA nowadays, he's a very good laner. And then of course into the game, he has this big ultimate threat. But when he steps out from the creeps to try and harass, he's just going to get speared into a route and it's free death. So he has to play so far behind. And they go for a PA. A hero that can somewhat play around the routes and stuff, gives them some backline jump to the Willow to the Warlock if you can blow them up quick enough, but it's not like the pick that goes, wow, all right, cool, that's the turning point in the Smashers draft.
And do you like PA without without someone to buff him up? Steroid or something to help PA along?
No, and I don't really like PA versus Willow, I'll be honest with you.
True, the realm, you can't really
always focus him, and usually when I see PAs picked, it's because you see like AA Rubik, some like super squishy supports, you jump, you insta-kill. You jump a Willow, and let's say like it's pre-BKB timing, the Willow can actually turn and almost solo kill you if you're not careful, so... And Brambles are annoying. Roots are pretty obnoxious to play versus early on the PA.
Yeah, this could be the scenario where if Nigma picks a weaker hero, then Smashers can just go for, let's say, a mag, and then they just go all for get the PA to a point where she's happy to fight. But then I'm still a bit worried about how they even get to play this game because there's a lot of kind of disconnection between their draft.
And then you pick mag into massive counter initiation too.
Yeah.
So it also might be too greedy because I do feel like with the Mars and with the Willow, they will try to set tempo pretty quickly because they see the greed on the third pick immediately. Okay. Batrider as well.
A lot of versatility here with Nigma's draft. Like, we don't know where players are playing. We don't know where heroes are going.
Yeah.
And then they have last
Very
pick.
color-coded, though.
Very color-coded.
True. You know, Smash is also kind of going for more of like a rocky light blue style.
Yeah. Is the cool colors versus the warm colors?
Yeah.
I used to love the combo of Warlock and Batrider. You get upheaval later on, sticky napalm slows the turn rate. You can't turn and move out of upheaval when those fights do come down, and they all do synergize very nicely together.
Oh, look, you can see Misery or now Rasmus's face like, like, you know, Homer Simpson.
I know how he makes the noise, but that's what the noise he makes to Rasmus always makes the I love it.
Oh, do we pick? Back against the wall.
Yeah, this is looking a little tough already, I'll be honest. Showing the PA so early into this aggression, not so crazy about it. But they're gonna have to pick something that can actually do quite well to be able to battle early, because Nigma's gonna bring the battle.
Okay, I like this. I was gonna say, I feel like in this position now with these picks, you put the Tiny as your 4, and you at least pick a mid lane that can lane into either the Mars or the Bat or anyone. And Puck is traditionally one of the counters to Batrider because you can always orb away from the Firefly, the aggression. I have seen sometimes the Bat just dominate the Puck if you have one, miscue, you ever aggressively use orb, but it at least gives Smashers a hero to play around, and for Stormstorm, it's one of his main heroes.
Yeah, and great ways to kill backline. You get like, if you find the Warlock and the Willow together at all, something like that, A blast follow up with Vortex, lots of magic damage, so it can be a pretty good phrase up of like that counter initiate, or just start the fights first so that they don't have combos with the Mars as backup for the Batrider.
I guess that's actually a pretty good point for Smashers. Like, when they get to post-laning phase, their team fights are built around Tiny starts the fight. If you ever waste Arena or Golem, then the mobility of PA Puck isn't punished. There isn't that hard lockdown, so they do have a really nice combo to play around, but you just need to get through laning phase, have the BKB, and then you're going to have a pretty good time.
And we have now a coil breaker too, right? We have the toss with the coil too, so they're going to have potential for those extra damage to be able to kill off these heroes, which I think they will. AA always does provide you also that extra damage, but whenever I see P, I'm always a little worried for damage in early game.
Yeah, for sure.
So is this something that we're looking for Rasmus still as the last pick then on the side of Hellbear Smashers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 100% this will be his last pick. Hopefully he doesn't pick Legion.
He likes things like Axe and Underlord.
Radiant
I mean, I know Misery pretty well, and every time he picks Legion, he thinks it's a great pick. Fast forward 35 minutes, game's over. He's like, why did I pick Legion? I know that's exactly what they're saying right now. They're like, yes, this hero do wonders.
Do like the Spectre ban. You see the Warlock. It's just it's probably gonna come out. You have AA.
AA Tiny.
Tiny don't do anything, dude. So do like that one quite a bit there.
Nigma, they ban out just
buffers. They still they bless. They're like, Rasmus, we know you want it, but you know what? We want a nice game.
They protected him from himself. Very, very generous. All right. So which hero is left?
They took out the 2 counters to the Batrider, right? So now there's not going to be a great dispel to be able to counteract the lasso.
You could maybe go for like an Underlord route where it's just kind of you just out of the fight, but it just feels very clunky. I think
there's a spear too, right?
Yeah,
like
that's
spear through the Uber. We've already seen that one a couple times.
Maybe a Pangolier, just cut through the fight and just have this Rolling Thunder effect.
Radiant team pick.
They're just gonna go the Tidehunter.
Okay. Does not fit the color scheme, guys.
No, and it is a very. I just feel like it's a very, like you said, casual Tidehunter.
It doesn't really have much kind of laning winning potential right now, because of course you have the last pick for this carry. But at least it grounds out the aggression where Nigma, when they want to make a fight, they have to use big spells to win the fight, right?
Yep.
So now you have your own big spell, so you can go tit for tat and actually have entry, and it unlocks PA and Puck to enter the fight only once. Tiny has initiated, Tide has reinitiated, bam, the double support cores come in.
And they take the troll.
Yeah.
Looks really good. Strong lane.
Same color.
And the real question is,
slow him down. Same color it is. They actually did. I mean, the color scheme is very beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely
okay, so this is the important thing. It is going to be an RMN on the mid or off lane Batrider, because of course Mars could still be mid, Bat could still be off lane type of thing. That's the switch here.
ILTW will play carry.
And the other thing is too, right? Like you actually don't know who you're playing against as Stormstormer because that is actually two heroes that used to be lane versus the Puck a lot.
Exactly.
Although the matchup for Batrider has gotten a lot worse, it's probably more likely the Mars, but okay.
All right, yeah, I think this is one of the rare times that smoking up as 5 on smashes to get a deep wall just to know who's going where.
Yep.
Because not only is there hero versatility, there's player versatility.
Yep.
Okay, and I do like that Rasmus can at least break the combos, right? Those big wombo combo team fights that are going to come out from Nigma. He'll at least be able to counteract those pretty decently.
Yeah, I think Nigma for sure. They can fall victim to their own need for aggression, playing right behind this Batrider, easily punished by a Puck, and then scaling with PA. So yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty close game. You've got Team Red versus Team Not Red, and yeah, I'm confident for Smashes. It just helps that Miracle's not playing, right? If you're a Smashes fan, like when you lose such a big factor to your team, it's suddenly the odds just kind of get a lot closer.
But we do still say that the lanes for Team Nigma Fogged look pretty decent.
Yes, they look quite strong. I do like the Troll overall into PA. Like it does take time for PA to be able to fight back versus Troll, and Troll, he will be able to naturally build into a way to deal with that evasion, while on PA it's a lot harder for you to deal with that. Sure, you'll get BKB and stuff like that, but yeah, I think I'm liking Nigma just because they have like the 1-up on the team fight too.
Yeah.
Because they have the 3, the Tide Runners are kind of the only real team fight besides the Puck on the side of Hellbear Smashers, so I think I still do go with them.
Well, let's see how this first game is going to play itself out and how Team Nigma will fare without Miracle. We're heading over to our commentary duo of Cap and Kyle.
You know, going into this series, I was looking at it and I was like, okay, Hellbear Smashers, they might do their thing and get an upset in one game, but ultimately they're going to get 2-1. But not the case anymore. I mean, this is a pretty different Nigma when you're missing Miracle and you've got a stand-in of RMN.
Yeah, nothing against RMN. High MMR players have been coaching the squad for a long time, but, you know, not just anybody can replace Miracle. And he's not a mid player either.
Yeah, see, he is directly trying to replace Miracle right here. So I'm not sure if they're going to keep this dynamic. It's always kind of interesting. Do you put Mind Control in an awkward position here, which he's certainly in an awkward position with against Hellbear Smashers? They go for the early 5-man movement out the Brambles, trying to create some cover, but Gilger does get the toss back. They quickly surround Mind Control, and that'll be it. Ace gets the first blood.
Love that from Hellbear Smashers. Yeah, they're 0-4, but they've been competitive. They took a game off of OG. They took a game off of Secret. They are no slouches. And this win keeps them in contention to stay in this upper division. I like that you come out, get the first blood, get some confidence.
No, absolutely. Hellbear Smashers, they've got everything to be able to win, and this is the best opportunity for you to be able to take it too. So feels like that combination of things, it almost feels like Hellbear Smashers might end up being the favored team in this, as Smashers do manage to get not only that first blood, but also 3 bounty runes. So nice big gold lead for them already.
And I gotta say, I mean, their draft is pretty solid. There's a reason the panel was favoring them. The Troll ult with AA ult does work a bit weird. You know, Troll can still be ulted by Axe and killed through his ultimate, but he doesn't shatter. However, you don't regen with any lifesteal when you pop Battle Trance, so be curious to see how that plays out. But if you look at the team fight, you know, Hellbear Smashers, just with the Tide and the AA, like that's so much damage.
That's your experience-based damage you were talking about earlier, right? They've got a lineup that just naturally scales with levels. Tiny, Tide, Ancient Apparition. They've got one hero that really needs a whole lot of farm, and that's going to be Ace. And it does feel like that is the 4 Protect 1 archetype fits pretty nicely into this meta because you want to be aggressive. So you kind of need 4 people running around trying to start fights.
Yeah, we haven't really seen many drafts work out where it feels like there's 3 cores that just need farm. And unfortunately for Nigma here, it does seem a bit complex. Like, it's a Troll. Yeah, you'll have some sustain behind you, but Batrider Mars, they're control. They're not really offering too much damage. You know, we've seen Liquid popularize this combination that we see right here with Willow and Mars. The fear into the arena can be huge, but you know, ineffective against Puck. PA could leap out of it and will buy BKB.
Yeah, they've got a very scary team fight on the Nigma side. Bogd was talking about how Warlock Batrider was one of his favorite duos in the past. The upheaval plus sticky napalm. GH going to be jumped on here. Spear through multiple brambles. Tofu's going to take a lot of damage. They managed to pick up level 2, so Shadow Realm plus the healing salve gets the hit onto Tofu, and GH should be able to secure first blood from mind control and should be able to still get out. If Ace really wants this, it's going to cost him a lot as he gets speared up. The bramble doesn't quite latch, sadly, as Ace very easily, I think, could have maybe gone down there. The bramble had gotten in, but
that's really nice creep control there. Nigma had a huge creep wave advantage, so they get levels early. Their enemy wave was dying faster. If Tofu's level 2 there, that's at least a turnaround kill, but did not have the XP. Timely level up from GH.
Hey, look at this. RMN doing a great job in CS. He's slightly above. Now Stormstormer still has 3 creeps coming in, but the fact that they're looking pretty even is really nice for RMN. And of course, this matchup in the past has been very good for Batrider. Batrider, of course, being nerfed a lot in the last patch, and that's why he kind of disappeared for a bit.
That's why he has to start with the Quelling Blade. You just don't get enough damage off the napalm stacks to last hit effectively. Puck with a 10 base damage advantage.
Gilger feeling like he can't do anything or isn't needed in the bottom lane. Is going to go for an early rotation here onto Mind Control and help out this lane. He's going to take the spear, but Mind Control is certainly dead.
I like this move. Tide, he might suffer down here, but already level 3 with the 2 points in Kraken Shell. So just the pure defensive style. He just wants to ensure he doesn't get zoned, is able to get as much XP as possible. And you can see that if the wave is controlled by Ace, AA Tiny is a kill combo. Like, Mars can't do anything about that.
GH, is he going to die here? They still have Avalanche, so I don't think there's a way out. He's got no more healing salves. He wakes up the neutrals. Tofu trying to aggro it, but Gilger times his last hit nicely and is going to be moving over to try and secure the runes here. Take it away from RMN. There goes that water rune. So nicely done, RMN. Not having a real refill on the bottle may actually make a huge difference here.
Yeah, that's huge. Because RMN... Oh, no. Speaking of bottle refills... Yeah. It's nice, though, because the way you play bat mid, you kind of have to be out of mana almost at all times. You're shoving waves constantly. Napalm spam, Firefly for the rune spawn. So really well done there by Gilger, but, GH had died. Tactical feed. Because it's actually worth, in a way, for Bet, because he gets the free charge. That's something I really hope we see changed at a point. The fact that the fountain regen lasts long enough to both fill bottle and give that extra charge.
Yeah.
2 extra charges.
Yeah, the 4.5 sort of hit that you get out of this is pretty insane for sure. No doubt that bottle in some way needs to be nerfed.
Because I think the refill, that should stay. But the 4.5 charges, maybe a bit excessive.
GH does get out the Curse Crown, and he's got Mind Control running interference for him. Ace is still going to go for it. Immediately going to be speared up. Brambles is here, but GH is going to take too much damage too quickly. He dies again.
Now, there is a price they pay for this. Hellbear Smashers are leaving their Tidehunter on an island. He's getting some pretty solid XP, already level 4.5, but not really much in the CS department. I think it's a worthy trade, though, because your PA, that's your one position. It's your hard carry, and
it all is worth it, maybe, if they can get this kill onto RMN. He knew the Tiny was coming in thanks to a ward, but it looks like he underestimates the damage that the puck is able to put out.
A double TP for that, too. This is the danger. The opening picks of Nigma were this support duo, but not really the easiest active roamers, right? Tiny just shows up, stun, toss, no problem. Willow Warlock, like, you need ultimates to do anything, really.
Going for the power rune here, doesn't even spawn. Stormstormer is taking a lot of damage from Kuro. Another round of spells. GH going to throw that last Shadow Realm hit, and Tofu barely survives thanks to the stick charges he had leveled up. Now they managed to get the lasso here onto the Tiny, pull him back down into the river, so there's nowhere really where he can run to. And hey, look at that, a regen rune for your efforts as well. RMN gets right back up to full plus. Stormer looks like he was grabbing the bounty rune. Doesn't quite time his phase shift correctly. Does take a bit of damage. In fact, the Bramble's landing, and that last hit, that's going to be enough. He's going to burn out, whether it's the healing ward or it's to Fatal Bonds.
That was a really weird play from Stormstormer. They're just overconfident. Yeah. The Warlock threat is real. Back in the day when I used to play this mid, this was like the hard counter to Puck because you just can't juke the damage. And the Fatal Bonds and the Shadow Word are deceptively high damage against a hero with such low base HP. And Stormstormer just doesn't respect the level 4 Warlock.
Rasmus, if he really wants out of this, maybe could have Ravaged right away, but of course he will hold on to it, knowing that the Ravage is more important than his life. Meanwhile, top lane, they're going to go for the kill onto Mind Control. Again here, the Cold Feet barely manages to get him there, but he is level 6 and close to the tower, so they can't really play into him any longer.
Yep. I like the build a lot by Mind Control. Early Bracer, Chainmail ASAP with a Raindrop and a full wand to boot. So 1200 HP, but even more so because that Raindrop is going to proc twice.
Look at this double ward placement from Nigma to make sure they know exactly where the Tiny is going at all times. Because he has to be successful in his rotations top and mid constantly if they're going to be leaving the Tidehunter to dry out here at bottom lane.
I wouldn't mind. See, the trouble with Tiny is that if it's a different, you know, this is like the Mirana 4 position, right? You'd be doing more of like what GH is doing, stacking camps to help get his Tide back into the game. They have 0 Ancient stacks, and oof, nice deny from Kuro.
It is going to cost Kuro his life as they're going to get the coil toss combination, but he is rather tanky thanks to the levels that he's been getting. And it's going to take a long time for Stormstormer to actually get this kill. In many ways, this space is actually going to be well worth it for Nigma. As the orb barely landing, but he's got another round of this. Boy, this is really costing them a lot of space. But at the same time, it looks like they may actually kill RMN. He barely managed to get the lasso to pull him back in. Ace throws out the dagger, trying to finish him off, but he's still not dead. He has to jump into tower range to be able to get him. A crit will finish him off. Tofu now running out. Does have the Cold Feet to ensure that GH does not feel comfortable diving that tower. So the space is in some way taken away by the fact that RMN dies to Ace. Why is Ace mid anyway?
Just nice rotate. You can't stay top alone against a Mars. It's very scary.
Yeah.
He is level 7 with Arena active, and it's just time to ditch that area of the map. ILTW also showed up mid trying to get a little active. Well done by Kuro there. Again, Nigma really good about this. They're always buying raindrops against Puck. It's so value in this game. You saw 2 orbs just having the full damage negated. Not full from the spell, but the maximum block. One of the most value items in Dota 2.
I think a lot of the top tier teams have been doing these swaps lately.
Yep.
It's the mid laner swapping to a side lane. Because he's strong, he can be in a more dangerous lane and have an impact. And then you give your carry the mid lane, which is hard to be able to gank. As you can see here, RMN, he's level 8. He's hard to bring down. They try, but immediately he survives. Now they're going to get a turnaround here as Mind Control Kuro joining the party. Rasmus threatening that Ravaged, as he does have 17 stick charges as well.
No, it's the right play. You, as a support, you sacrifice your early game to get your core online, and then they return the favor once you hit this 10-minute mark. And it's much easier also to play around a hero like Tide. You can see the itemization. Hood, right away, the full wand. So you just can't really kill Rasmus unless you want to commit probably 4 or 5 heroes. And if he has backup, that Ravage is a huge threat. They probably look to go there if the AA ult was going to connect, but no reason to blow the cooldown if you can't get at least 1 kill on a core.
RMN comes back to mid with the Siege Wagon push on its way.
It is a concern, though. The 2 cores, Troll, yes, for sure. This hero will scale hard, but Batrider and Mars, just especially the way that they're itemizing, they're not real damage threats. You know, the Batrider mid kind of has to have a better start. You know, when we see this hero dominate, the bots are already up. He's on his way to a BKB at 15, 17 minutes into the game. And he gets a kill every time Last is off cooldown. It's not really looking like that's going to be a possibility here for RMN.
Another Ice Blast sailing on by. I will say, I agree with you, especially since they've got heroes that deal. They've got 2 mobile cores, and that it's hard for Batrider to be able to kite out, and then the Tidehunter, who thanks to Kraken Shell gets rid of the sticky napalm. But I am impressed by these Batriders going late game with the new shard.
Yeah, that's true.
That is pretty crazy. It certainly seems like Batrider has a fresh power spike late game.
Yep.
That he didn't have before.
It's something you said about the way Dota's evolved, all the changes and additions. Hang on, I might have put the runes.
Gilgert dodges the bramble. Very nice. They're going to try and bump him back into range of the lasso, but Gilgert covers himself with the avalanche.
So there's like a lot of legacy information in my brain that may just be outdated, specifically this relationship between Bat and Tide. Because back in the day, you know, you scrim against LGD Vici when RTK and Zhao were still in the game. They would first to a Tide into your Bat, no problem. And they saw it as a hard counter.
Yeah.
I think that's still the case. But to your point, maybe Bat later on, you just have so much damage amplified from your shard. Tides isn't quite as good, although I have seen it used by Monkey's Row because it does reduce tower damage on the Tide shard. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But is it viable? I don't know.
Coil only onto the one here. ILTW. He's going to still be hit by the Ravage Ice Blast combination. Maybe this isn't quite what he expected. Now the avalanche over the top. He gets tossed. That's going to be him shattering. A terrorized dodge there by Stormstormer. The rest of Nigma are going to close in on Gilgert, but he's hero chatted lining for a reason. He knows that was a great fight and a great exchange.
Yeah, you take those all day. Nice, right? I mean, you kill the troll. That's it. Ace lives, troll dies. That's the dream. LTW is off to a great start. Don't get me wrong. He's very close to the battle for you, but that death will hurt. Skips the ultimate, I think partially just because he recognizes how useless it is against AA ult. Sure, so he'll be able to farm that a little bit faster. Don't think it would have helped him there.
Comes Armen back in with the boots of travel. The Ravage is down, so Nigma, how much can they get during this opening? And it seems like they really actually want to just straight up take mid-tower. No coil for a bit either. It's still going to be difficult. And rather dangerous once they start taking more and more damage from the tower.
I love this from Hellbear. They just bring the whole squad. You want to push this lane? You're going to have to dive. Yeah, you don't have Ravage, but Rasmus is serving as an offensive lineman for his stack. You can't really go on Tide. This is the Dota mistake 101. Rasmus wants you to try to kill him. He's a no Ravage Tide Hunter with a hood. If you do that, you're not winning the fight. He's serving the purpose of a Ravage by just existing and absorbing your damage.
And it also helps that Hellbear Smashers have a decent number of low cooldown nukes they can just kind of throw out to defend towers, like the Puck especially, who's now found the opening with the coil just now coming up on GH. Now let's see if he dodged the spear in time. Phase shift not going to be out. He gets speared. He gets stuck to the wall. Still not dead. Will manage to get off an orb. Jumps a little farther away, but the last hit from RMN is here. So he keeps on pursuit. He sees Gilgert. Kuro's Golem leading the way. He'll try and slow him down. Gilgert does have Avalanche, which he can slow down RMN, but RMN may feel bold enough to keep it going. Man, he's so slow. Cold feet not quite there. Now he's going to toss him over to Ace, and Ace is actually going to be the one last. So if they're both together on this Firefly, Ace is still alive, but the TP actually getting canceled there by the spear, and RMN gets the double kill, all thanks to Gilgert's alley-oop. He goes ahead and thanks Gilgert for that one. Nigma do close in with GH and mind control to ensure this team fight. Oh, they're going to go for the Ravage, but it's just the two of them. They really want this kill into RMN. The spear goes out. They only get the one kill out of this one, but it is a killing spree collected.
That is huge, though. ILTW put in so much work. His squad just pretty much won a team fight without him. He killed top tower, farmed a couple, I think 4 or 5 creep waves top, through the jungle, now to mid, no Ravage, so you're probably going to be able to push this mid tier 1 as well. And Ace dies. But this is a huge lead now. LTW is taking on the game. He's a full Claymore ahead of the PA. Has the Battle Fury complete.
Tofu caught out here. Trying to get a little vision. Fortunately, Ace does actually clean up the kill on GH rather quickly.
Radiant structures are
they got the tower. Nigma, they should be plenty happy with this.
Under attack.
And indeed, they'll back up. So just the net worth exchange there, fantastic for Nigma. But now you add in the fact that they've got this really nice map control. They took the enemy mid tower while still keeping their own. Cooldowns are still up for a little while on the Ravage and such. These are all fantastic things. You can see ILTW in his tip to RMN. He is very happy with the space he's gotten. He's 2,000 net worth ahead of Ace.
He's a Yasha plus ahead. Like, he still doesn't have a battle for you up on Ace. So every minute that we see this disparity, that's an extra 200, 300 GPM the troll has as an advantage. That'll be reflected in the XP gained as well. And the map control now, because they've got mid tower, look at the ward coverage that Kuro's placed. It's beautiful.
Yeah. He's got all three lanes in a way covered right now.
Yep.
Both jungles in the mid lane covered in wards. Nice aggressive wards that are going to be able to give you a good read of what Hellbears are up to. Hey, as long as you don't like lose a big team fight and the enemy starts pushing onto your side, but getting a pick off like this certainly helps. His Ace, he's got to jump away here over to Tofu, and that'll be just enough space to get him out, and they actually lose GH in the process. So not bad for the Smashers.
That's a very needed survive.
Oh, Stormer missing the coil there. That could have been a nice exchange. They actually dropped the golem to make sure that Smashers don't really try and take this too aggressively. And they will start retreating.
Ravage in 5.
It's a 4 position for a 4 position so far, so with the Ravage ready to go, if RMN extends a little bit too deep, look at it, just the upheaval. Oh God, is Tofu gonna die to the golem like this? The spear comes out, the golem needs another hit, but he doesn't quite get it. RMN, is he gonna try and go for a flame break? He is, and he's got him too. Tofu gets burned down from a distance. They blow the Ravage to kill RMN for that though.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, LTW was already in the pit, and now he looks to commit. Like, this is just go for Roche, of course. Like, this is the second or third time, it was second time, the Rasmus Ravage just, it's too selfish almost. Like, that one kill, is it really worth it? Because you're losing objectives. You can only do this as LTW. You have so much map control, but again, the vision. Like, there's no fear now. You see your enemies, and he is solo killing Roche as we speak. Yeah. He's going to be a full Sanjin Yasha ahead of the PA with an Aegis in his pocket.
Into the sunset.
And after it dies, quite possibly 3 full levels as well.
Down Gilger. Hits the spear on him with the brambles. And Mars Dark Willow. Those ultimates, man, combined together, you're probably just gonna 100-0 almost anybody in this game.
Radiant's middle tower
LTW now with an Aegis and an SNY, so he can play in team fights really aggressively now. Considering how tanky he is, he can now, in a way, frontline.
Yep.
For Nigma.
He's done. The whole team's done well. I mean, LTW, they'll probably get a lot of credit if he ends up carrying this game, but his team has put in so much work. RMN really surprising me on his plays as this Batrider just because of how aggressive he's been able to posture. And look, the team is still looking to get active. There's still no Ravage, and they should know this. Solar Crest finished on Rasmus, but I just don't know if you actually have the damage to fight as Smashers right now. This troll is a huge problem.
It certainly is, and Nigma, if the Smashers don't choose to fight them, they can start mowing down some towers. Troll's quite good at that. Gilger spotted here by GH.
Radiant's middle tower.
Nothing good to come of this. Oh, I like this. Hellbear Smashers are backdooring the mid-tier 1 tower. That's always a nice play.
Yeah, they really wanted to open up the map. So keep in mind, the Troll versus PA relationship. Typically, PA is certainly the king of the late game, but Troll, you can even see in the items he's got queued up, BKB, MKB. Very natural progression for him, and it is incredibly difficult to go toe-to-toe with this hero as a Phantom Assassin unless you are at the very least equal in items, and that does not look like it'll be the case unless perhaps this smoke can work out. No blink on Rasmus, but he's going to attempt the walk-in Ravage. Blink on the puck. They need to try and get this Warlock.
They're going to lead off with the coil onto the 2 supports. With the Ice Blast coming in as well, they might just be able to burst the backline almost immediately. They do. 2 supports down. Mind Control gets off the arena, though. And the puck, it's going to be a combo of ultimates that brings him down. RMN and Mind Control both down to about half health. Ace looking for his opportunity to jump in. Spots it now onto RMN. Meanwhile, the Tidehunter Rasmus being gone on by the Troll. Bit by bit, he will be whittled down by the Troll's damage. But now they're going to go for Mind Control as well. They're leaving ILTW for last year, which is a great idea if they can actually finish off Mind Control's Mars. But they can't. He's too tanky, it seems like. And Ace doesn't want to try and go for that kill with ILTW in the neighborhood. So they're going to back off. Ultimately, a 3 for 3 is the exchange.
Man, that could have gone so much worse for Nigma. I'm surprised they came out of that so nicely. Both supports died right at the onset. No spells cast by Kuro. They got the tier 2 though, so he'll be able to teleport right in, heal up Mind Control. It's the new outpost coming into play. This is that the 5 seconds versus 6 second TP. Maybe not super effective, but he got healed that much faster.
And now they can just keep playing on Hellbear Smasher's side of the map.
Yep.
And even start taking over their triangle. And once a PA loses her triangle, I just don't know how you recover the game.
Yeah.
You know, because you are so reliant on hitting Ancients.
I think Ace might have had to get a little more aggressive in that fight. He didn't actually enter it until it was 3-on-3.
Sorry, I was laughing at Rasmus's inventory. He knows what he needs. And it's one item and one item alone. A blink dagger for him. It's like tofu. He's very dead. His Gilger, yeah, Gilger's going to be caught out as well. Both the supports getting picked just outside of their base. There's nowhere for them to move. Nigma, they're just kind of a wall.
It just faded, but there was a ward on the high ground by top outpost in Dire Jungle. That was also sentryed by Kuro as he came in. Hellbear Smashers had placed a new ward. It immediately got taken out, but it's why Nigma continued to dominate in this area of the map. There's just been no vision for Hellbear Smashers. They have one ward now on the steps of the enemy woods, but this doesn't help them because Kuro and squad are not playing underneath it at all. They're just stealing the jungle and in this manner controlling both ancient spawns. So to your point, where does PA farm?
Yeah. Throw in the combination of Mars having a blink dagger and RMN having his boots of travel. And if you play on the side lanes and you play really deep on the enemy side of the map to try and find farm, Nigma could certainly close the distance real quickly. The phase shift is going to be able to dodge the spear, Mind Control. He's looking a bit unhealthy here at about half health. Not obviously going to commit. 3 more seconds till the Aegis expires. So the Smashers really want to stall this out. But can they go on ILTW here? A BKB for both the carries.
They just saw Aces picked up, so they might need to be a little cautious here. This spacing, though, really benefits Nigma. They're playing in the trees with their squishier heroes. You can't really get Kuro if he's going to play this far back.
Stormstormer looking for an opening here. Spots GH, and he wants him to go for it, and they do. Gilger jumps him, hits him with a combo. Puck follows it up. Puck trying to protect his own life as best as possible. Gets a coil on just the bat right. Got immediately broken. The Ice Blast is going to follow it in. They need more damage behind it, though, and they don't quite yet have it. RMN doing a nice job dodging around. Ace, the golem is thrown onto him. He's going to jump away back to Rasmus and Stormstormer, while the rest of Nigma funnel backwards here. They're going to start poking on Mind Control. Gilger is being focused down by ILTW at the same time, but now that they're done with the Tiny, they're going to start rallying back. A 3-on-3 still. These teams very evenly matched when it comes to team fights. Both of them have a strong understanding of picking off these squishier 4-position heroes. GH got to be a little bit careful since he did buy back in this fight. So I guess 2 for 3.
You can see the big difference between these carries. Ace forced to play like an assassin, whereas LTW just playing like a bully. He's not targetable, wasn't even forced to use BKB there because they simply cannot go for him right now.
Silence.
He's just stealing the enemy bounty rune, just ignoring the fact that Hellbear Smashers are 5 alive. Really nice placement. They're just going to continue to apply this pressure.
And he's going to be able to naturally progress into an MKB. So the PA feels like you are answered over the next like 10 minutes.
Yep.
Probably, maybe if we survive for another 15, then the PA starts becoming big enough threat to some of these other heroes. But RMN, he jumps in big time to be able to go for the Ancient Apparition, but he immediately gets turned around on by the Smashers. Nigma are going to use that BKB on ILTW to TP home, and Kuro looks like he's far enough back.
Kuro has a refresher in 500 gold.
Yeah, and maybe a little bit more, though, as Smashers are still trying to catch up to... Oh, my God. 1,000 damage crit from Ace, and they're on the hunt for more here. The spear doesn't quite land. GH spotted for a moment. Gilger, Blink Dagger up. Another avalanche. A toss coming in soon. Shadow Realm just came back up, so he's not going to be tossed here.
It's huge. He had no buyback. That would have been guaranteed tier 2. Still might be, but you can see the downside. Kuro went for this very greedy item build. When he gets the refresher, that's going to be nuts. But for now, the side of Nigma have literally no plus armor items. So that Solar Crest advantage is going to come into play. The Gush as well for the minus armor. If you get caught as Warlock or the Willow of GH by Ace, you die in a crit. As
he is
witnessed.
in a really bad position. Oh my God, ILTW.
No BKB.
What is this?
He's no BKB.
The most insane farming I have. What?
We get a replay. Where was he?
So
he just walked up to the
BKB TP'd, and I think he TP'd the tier 2 bottom, and he farmed his way up into their triangle.
And they had a ward on him too.
Yeah, I mean,
the only place on the map Kuro doesn't have sentries is the ancient camp that ILTW chooses to farm. That is a huge death. His advantage has just dropped off. You know, he's been an item ahead this entire game. Now it's going to be half an item. And Ace, you know, he's got the Deso complete. So, you know, actually they're even. It's just that right now he's got a lead on the MKB. That timing is going to be huge for Nigma. They'd like it to hit before the next Roche fight. But that's going to be easier said than done. They just lost map control. Suddenly, it's Hellbear Smashers playing enemy side of the map.
Crazy, just wrong positioning from two people on the side of Nigma, and it makes a huge difference. I think RMN and his choice to... I think he jumped in and lassoed Tofu.
Yep.
Right? But like as soon as he does that, PA has free game. Right? And part of the success of teamfights of Nigma has been the troll being on the front line. They're going to be able to grab Gilger here. They're trying to blow him up. He's not quite inside of the wall, but he should still die here. But at the same time, Storm's in deep. Uh-oh, he ran into a bramble. Almost gets hit by the golem, but fortunately he phase shifts it, jumps over to his orb, but he's still caught. Nigma.
What?
This time it's the Hellbear Smashers who get like way too aggressive, and Nigma finds a great opening into Roche.
What the hell? How did that happen, Cap? It's a 4-on-5. There's no troll. The enemy net worth, the highest net worth by far, is dead. Roche has now spawned. You have Ravage. Do we have buybacks on these heroes? Stormer, yes. Gilger, no. Are you just going to give up the Roche?
Yeah, I mean, Hellbear Smashers just were not ready for a fight, I think. Icebox is going to come in, but the PA is a little bit too far away. In fact, he's been hit by a Brambles here, maybe forced to use his first BKB to try and TP out. There is no lasso for a second here for the Bad Ride, but it may not be needed. They managed to get the chase done onto it. The Ravage are going to go down. BKB and a blink strike away, but that's not the way you wanted to use your combination there. Just a retreat to save your carry, but still lose your Tide Hunter in the process. Nigma, all right, the game's fully swung back to their favor.
What?
Radiant's
that's just nuts. They just gave away. They were gonna have such an insane timing. PA just hit level 20. He has the Deso for 7 minus armor, his talent for 3. Nigma have no armor items. Kuro 7, Willow of GH 5, 15 on the Batrider. These heroes are going to explode in the duration of a Ravage, but now they don't have it. Now they're playing into Aegis.
663 gold for D-warding. Nicely done by Kuro.
They just gave up.
Great read.
What were they doing over there?
I don't know. There's just a lot of weird mispositionings happening. I think both teams are underestimating the potential of the other team to be aggressive on them. And now Ace doesn't have a BKB for 15 seconds. They need the puck, Blink Strike, to be able to jump over, and Stormer does give it to him. Ace. He's running himself out of here, but Stormer is going to get caught in the process. And Mind Control may get burned out, but Ace. RMN spots him. He's going to be hit by another Blink Break.
You got a BKB! Oh, he had it. He didn't.
I think he came up in like literally the last second.
All right, man.
He was not spamming it.
Is that Miracle or is this RMN? Because all of a sudden, the Batrider is just winning the game for his boys.
You know what's funny is that like there's so many like okay, that fighting triangle where Hellbear Smashers is not well prepared. They get caught. That leads into Roshan being taken. That Roshan is a shard. So the Batrider picks up the shard. That's how he ends up killing the PA again. It's like these things can snowball rather heavily.
So he now doesn't have to buy a shard. He can instead buy a BKB cap. Suddenly the Ravage is ineffective, and he's going to be gunning. That's 2 racks. Like, I actually, is that just GG?
It's close enough to it. They're going to hold out because they've got a PA, right? They've got a PA. They've got tier 1 and tier 2 still up in the bottom lane.
But their whole timing just disappeared. Suddenly, everybody on the Radiant team now has a bonus 2,000 gold. That's a plate mail on the Mars. It's going to be an Aeon disc soon on GH. It was 24-20. Hellbear Smashers had a lead.
Radiant's top tower
and then,
is under attack.
Man. Just, I don't know. I guess by now, I should have learned to buy the dip, but I cannot believe that they turned this around.
Yeah. Fistful of sand. It all just slips through their fingers, and Hellbear Smashers, who had an opportunity to take control of this game.
Plate mail on the bat.
Now they're dealing with the BKB plate mail Batrider, who has the shard.
PA no longer has that insta-kill potential because Team Nigma just picked up like a bonus 30 or 40 armor across their players. Now they have a Refresher Golem and an Aegis and a DD.
Still have an opportunity for outplay RMN in deep here. Tried to go for the lasso, but the Lincolns protected him, I believe, on the puck. So, did he not know about that?
It was new, just picked up. It's the right choice, too, mostly for the defensive application on PA. Because otherwise, right, there's no protecting him. He can BKB, but still get lassoed and he'll be done for.
It's a pretty sick move. If he didn't have that Lincolns, they would have just found a insanely good pickoff to end the game. Still looking very good for Nigma as they have 1 minute left on the Aegis and should be able to run up to high ground and force something. Hellbear Smashers, they might be able to stall until the Aegis is down, but it's probably going to cost them a lot. Maybe buybacks, maybe Ravage.
Do have Glyph, but look for Crow just to drop the bomb. He's got 2 of them.
Yeah.
Double damage.
Oh, and double damage too? Yeah, they could definitely force a response from Smashers now before this Aegis is gone. So now, okay, they're not going to wait. The Lotus Orb going off actually does manage to get the lasso back turned around, but it doesn't matter. Gilger is being ripped apart by ILTW. They do have a buyback though. RMN almost getting critted down to death. He's got to be careful of that MKB. Double damaged up ILTW, who's running down heroes right now. That is going to be the use of his ultimate. He's got 14 seconds left on the Aegis. They really need to take this Megas now because he won't have those extra lives soon. ILTW toss back, and they do take him out before the Aegis expires. Now the Golems double dropped in. Phase shift is going to be able to dodge one of them. Instantly Ravage up. Can they burst him down? He doesn't have his ultimate. He eats the cheese, but he still is getting chunked on by Ace. Now Smashers, they haven't even lost their barracks just yet, are going to look for more. Everybody else, maybe they can catch the Dark Willow here, but other than that, great fight for Smashers. They will hold.
Oh man, so they kill him a second before Aegis respawns, but sick play. The BKB was down, so Gilger with the immediate toss back forces LTW to be out of position. He had no ult either and used it purely offensively.
Yeah, he just used it.
He's just like, I'm in, but Kuro didn't drop the rocks. Then he does onto the puck. Both of them, both are dodged.
Like, why do they need to initiate here?
You can just chill.
Just let them go on LTW.
It's all good. Like, use the arena maybe if you want to, but it's all fine here. Okay, everything's good. You don't need to do this if you're ILTW. You can just hit the racks. You have a DD. Instead, he's now forced into the tier 4s. You're going to see a toss back in just a moment from Gilger.
Beautiful toss back by Gilger that saves the barracks and puts the troll in a very bad position.
Yeah, they get the crit. But now watch Crow.
Golem 1, Golem 2, what?
And then there's just a route. Like, if you're going to use that, that should be, you know, I don't know, you ever play StarCraft 2, you know, when you're launching nukes, like, you want to put it closer to the enemy base full of workers. You don't want to aim for the army. Or in this case, I guess the Lone Dragoon. Not ideal. And now, I don't know if this is going to turn it around necessarily, But at least Smashers have some breathing room. They're going to have a Satanic soon on their PA. Don't know if I like that choice, actually. He might need damage. But I guess they're considering that if our PA can actually like live and just go toe-to-toe with LTW.
Hellbear breaks the smoke and blinks away. Very nice by him. Smashers may still be caught in the process. The dagger doing a lot of damage here. We're gonna poke at mind control some more. Brambles that actually caught him and terrorized as well. Stormer is just dead.
Not buyback.
Now they've got the Ghoul Scepter. He does have a BKB. He's gonna jump back first, holding on to that magic immunity for as long as possible. Now using it, but not being able to go in. They buy back on Stormer, but the BKB will be on cooldown for 70 seconds. Nigma have an opportunity to just hit the base again.
Yeah, I can almost guarantee this is the last time we're going to see Rasmus playing Tide in this series. Not that he's doing anything wrong, but he had no Ravage there for 20 seconds. They might have an opening to fight to use that buyback, but without Ravage, they just don't feel comfortable. However, this is a sick backstep. They've got great vision.
They see the support. They see the two back line. They get them together in a combination, but the AO disc protects GH. He was aware that this could be a possibility. He saves himself. Mind control's going to be rooted to this spot, but it's ILTW who's already smashed in Ace's head. He rips them apart with that MKB, and as soon as Ace is gone, the fight's done. They don't have any damage. This is a 4-protect-1 lineup. There's nothing left. So that's it. Nigma.
Don't even get the Ravage. Oh my. Oh, Cap. I was like, they're going to go. They've got vision. This is such a sick opportunity to just.
Oh, no.
Like, you got to, at one point, your guns are loaded. Just blink in and pray, right? Use everything. Instead, we see the game end. Coil. I don't even know if it might have been used, wasn't effective. Ravage unused, and shout out to RMN, newest mid player for Team Nigma, bringing home the bake, and they get the W in our first game.
Good stuff from
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries as we'll fall now. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. I drag you out your mind, and there are days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And then we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. You say I make you nervous, a tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster, a reckoning. You wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh. You think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face. Got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you break your back to make me feel again. Suffocate to make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came. I stopped asking for forgiveness, 'cause you should know only fools tread with the angels. Fear to go, but you keep trying to get too close. Save myself by turning into stone. So save your judgment, 'cause you just don't know. But some things never change, never change. Oh, they say I should feel guilty and change my ways, leaving crumpled bodies in my wake. Swear I didn't mean to make them break. Swear I didn't mean to make them break. But they're so delicate and so mundane, and they keep coming like a moth to a flame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You'll break your back to make me feel again. Suffocate to make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption.
I'm crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly. I'm crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Pick.
Mereska has arrived.
We are going to see game 2 between Hellbear Smashers and Team Nigma. You're watching Dream League Season 15, powered by Intel. It's the upper division of the Western European DPC League. And the first game of this series went the way of Team Nigma, but it was a little sloppy from both teams. And we're going to find out if maybe game 2 can provide us with a little bit of a difference from that. I hope it will, because we know they can do it. I also think that maybe this time Batrider, the Hellbear Smashers, they recognized Armin's Batrider play, hero spammer galore, and it's banned.
Okay, and they'll stick to their guns, put Ace on a more comfortable hero, even though he does play the PA a bit. He did have a bit of a rocky one on that last one. Wraith King and AA. Tried and tested, very strong. Willow can play around this lane, though. If you do play up there, your Shadow Realm able to dodge that. Wraith King stun can be pretty nice. GH did look kind of mortal on that Willow, though, last time around. Some mistakes for sure coming out from him, but hero's still very strong.
Yeah, we mentioned as well, like his skill build as well didn't really feel very patch-driven. It's kind of more maybe like a comfort style of level skill build. We're mainly referring to the fact that he put more points into Realm rather than the Bramble Maze. The Maze having multiple buffs. I guess for Nigma here, like they could just pick up their off lane to deal with like the lane that you already see, the A Wraith King. There is minimal flexibility here, so
yeah. Still, I mean, it is a susceptible hero to it, but you can still just do the Mars. Like it's just a good combo overall. Mind Control did die a few times, but he did his job in the last game.
Yeah, previously they picked the Warlock up in this at this point.
Yeah.
And I think it did do its job. It wasn't the strongest performance, but it's a strong hero overall.
I mean, technically, game 2, it can only get better for Misery and for Kuroki. So that's about it.
Silver linings. Love it. They're taking their time, though. They're actually going heavily into their bonus time for a second pick, which is very unusual.
My control's talking a bunch, so they're considering his hero. Okay, so they're going to go for the Timber for more, I guess, like, lane pressure in a way, because it is the strength, strength hero. Wraith King does get really heavily punished by it, but AA can also be pretty good versus Timber mid-game.
Yeah, I think that's the idea that in game 1, Smashers brought 2 supports to the off lane. They're punishing GH, but not really killing off mind control. And now when you pick a Timbersaw, you basically force Smashers to go, with your opening, you need to try to nuss at this early portion of the game. You have to give RTW this free farm, and it just kind of keeps the map kind of in the favor of Nigma just because of the Timbersaw pick alone.
Okay, so then now they're protecting the Willow and the Timber overall here, since we know that big AoE damage going through the Shadow Realm, everything from Flash Strike, of course, will kill Willow, and amplified by AA. Very good versus Timber. Sticking with the Dusa ban.
Yeah, you got to do it, I think. Just like the amount of noise in this type of game, like you could see how RTW approached that first game. He's going for Battle Fury. He ignored pretty much every early engagement. He waited for him to have a game, then he joined in the fun. And I think that's when you are playing with RMN and you have this kind of standing factor, you can't rely on like this dual core to be a win condition. Like, RMN did amazing making space, but like you need that kind of insurance policy in your draft.
Deuce is just ridiculous here right now. I think it's 7-0 in SCA right now, which is quite ridiculous. Sure, so that hero's definitely going to be moving up in priority. Storm ban, Nyx ban.
Does that teach us anything?
The Storm ban is just, again, a little bit more maybe respect potentially. Yeah. But the Nyx ban is just a reaction to the Timbersaw. I think when you are first phasing it, you do want to get rid of one hero that's good. Smashers, their response to this is by picking this flexible Lina. Gilga will play it, but Storm, 9 times out of 10 when they pick Lina like this, it's like, yeah, you're going to play it.
Yeah. I like it. Nice pick up there. Doesn't, it's so flexible, so it doesn't reveal a whole lot of anything, so I do like that.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and they got 2 relatively solid stuns. I guess Cold Feet, you could even count it as 3, people like stuns.
0.5.
0.5?
They got to stay in the area long enough.
Oh, you can let them stay in the area long enough by first having the Wraith King stun, then the Light Strike Array, then the Cold Feet that already is ticking over the Life Strike Array. There's no escaping.
And that's why, you've just described why Wraith King AA is such a strong lane together.
Yep. How do they respond now?
How do they respond? They are once again into their bonus time, but this one is a little bit more normal to decide which way they're going to go with their draft. I'm also curious, like we know, well, on hindsight, we know that our man is a bat spammer.
What does he play now? I mean, we'll find out.
Because they don't have to keep sticking him on mid. They can be flexible with that. We got another Titan coming out.
Okay, so that's likely to be, 90% chance for Kuroki.
Yep. Although GH used to play it a lot too. Am I right in thinking that?
I guess they could run it as 4 and put the Willow as the 5 in a way, depending on which carry hero they would like to run.
Yeah.
Just tried looking at RMN's Pro Tracker. Great website. 0 matches, 0 wins, 0 losses in the last 8 days. So unless he's playing on a Smurf, there's no information to go off.
There is a
Can
chance.
you look at the RMN Smurf? Do they have a? Does he actually have? He doesn't even have it up there.
No, they don't have a Smurf on this side.
Maybe he hasn't played in 8 days.
What is?
I do have him on friends though, so if I can run to the PC real quick, I can then.
I think he removed me from friends. Very sad.
Wait.
Very sad. From the good old German team days.
You're pretty savage on the panel nowadays, Sheever.
Yeah, it's fair.
Only likes,
it's fair. I'm no longer nice.
I like the CT pick though. It works. It amplifies really nicely for the Willow in particular too. It gives vision.
I think it boils down to the idea that there's going to be so much pressure on the Timbersaw. You now pick a hero that can start making the big stacks. You can continue making more from your jungle. And when the game gets a little bit closer, the team fight you lose with Timber, you now gain all of it back with your ET pick. So it's a nice kind of 1-2 punch.
Great counter initiator too, in case there is someone getting focus fired. You stomp the back line so they can't follow up with all that big damage.
More stuns!
More stuns!
There's also more flexibility right now. Smashers with the second pick, they've picked a DK that can go off lane mid, the Lina that can go 4 on mid. You have no idea where these heroes are going to lane up until when they pick their final hero.
Yep. I like it.
Yeah. Plus armor as well versus ET for later stages. Nice, but it is DK into Timber.
Yes.
So that is always a little bit of a fear because there's a lot of damage. Timber and Willow, pre-BKB DK, you can just get shredded.
And also another melee core. That's going to be playing into ET as well. So you're now playing into double strength into Timber, double melee into ET. This final pick has to be the biggest gotcha pick Otherwise, they've kind of drafted themselves into what Nigma's really playing for.
Yeah, I do agree.
And that Bristle is the counter to Wraith King, simply because of the amount of pressure you apply on the map. You can steal all stacks. Wraith King can't farm any stacks. And yeah, the pressure that you apply from Bristle back into Wraith King, it is a counter to all the time.
Will that be the mid Bristle or something too? Like, or will they actually just put it straight up safe lane?
I would like to see it safe lane, but I feel like with RMN, then you can
maybe it's one of.
I mean, does this still invite them for a ban on the Keeper of the Light that's still in the pool?
With this DP ban though, I kind of indicate that the Bristle is mid.
That's why. That's what I'm thinking too.
Radiant team back.
Yeah, and they banned Viper, right? Like now it's starting to seem even more so. So this is the hero that just parks in front. Now it's like. It's difficult a little bit for the AA because it's like, oh god, I gotta blast Ember, but then Bristle.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, Fold, I love you for saying that.
He pulls away, you know, it pulls away the focus away from the Timber Saw because now you gotta focus the Bristle a little bit harder.
Too many heroes to hit with the ultimate.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I think it's actually pretty cool if it is going to be that approach.
And it's if it is a mid Bristle, you have the ability for Willow to leave that lane quite quickly, start making stacks. Bristle retreats over. So yeah, I like the mechanisms of their draft. But Smashers, they do have the last pick. They need to find some threat to the front line. They don't have it right now. I think if this is a Lina core, it will be somewhat disastrous. I think it has to be Storm's hero that unlocks the draft right now.
Agreed. They ban out the PA. I think that might just be indicating that it is the Lina and the AA as the two supports more than likely because those two heroes just get one dagger and I'm dead. So I do like that PA ban as well for them.
Isn't the carry just going to be some like casual active hero like a Juggernaut or something? You just play with the momentum that you set with a Bristleback.
Round 2 troll.
Sure. Yeah, Jug or Troll for sure.
Jug or Troll.
She's laughing right now. He's happy.
Jug, Troll, Lifestealer, all three, right? They're all in.
Team pick.
They're gonna go Ember. Okay, so it's gonna be Bristle safe, and then they're gonna switch it up. Okay, so they did have the flexibility in that one. And if it is a DK mid, which is very likely, that means Ember gets a free lane.
Yeah. Is the resurgence of maybe the Monkey King? Nah, I feel so bad actually.
Please God, no.
Yeah, no, the hero's not good enough to suggest it.
5 seconds.
All right, Rasmus, eyes on you.
This pick makes or breaks pretty much your DPC life, honestly. Like if they lose this series and go 0-5, the best they can do is then go 2-5, which is then hoping that Tundra and Braymont win any more series, which is somewhat unlikely.
And they are looking pretty good at the moment, so they are actually on the up. And
pick.
And to be fair, I mean, this is a Team Nigma crippled by Miracle not playing. They like if they're gonna win any series, should be this one. And
could be some funny lanes. There could be some funny lane stuff going on here, right? Because then if Ember does go mid and they put Lina mid, that's a really weird matchup for the Ember Spirit overall, and they could definitely move some stuff around and just it's probably going to be scouting lanes. Is what we're going to see from Nigma.
Yeah, that's the difficulty right now. Like you're mentioning the idea of okay, Ember could go here and here, but that's where Smashers they can't just pick this amazing last pick because what happens if it's just Ember mid? Now they have to counter the Bristle. Like
what is this sitting position?
It's known as the frog. It allows for more additional keyboard reach.
Okay. Just curious.
Also, he's actually showing some real estate where he can get some advertising going on his chin or his knees.
Yeah.
Okay, and they go for Pugna.
Okay, all right. So Pugna, we did see in the lower division into the breach, Xantic did absolutely dumpster Boromir when he was playing the Ember Spirit on mid, but alas, it is just going to be a mid Bristle.
It's going to be the mid Bristle now, so
yeah.
Rasmus on the DK off lane. Ember Spirit, that's fine. Ember Spirit loves this. Now he's laning versus the DK anyway, even though he's not mid. That's like what you want to have happen for an Ember.
I guess the saving grace here is that you cannot, you have to remember that Lina is so potent.
That is very true.
That chip and the amount of sustain that the DK has is, I think that lane's going to go okay. I think both side lanes will always be good.
You're actually right.
Timber winning the side lane for Nigma, and it's what can this Pugna bring to the game? Is he taking early towers? Is he going to maybe the ward, the mitigating the mana regen? Is that going to be an issue for maybe the Bristle and the Timber in the mid game?
Yeah.
That could be the key thing. Both drafts are pretty interesting. I prefer Nigma's because I think Bristleback is going to be like the dark horse of this patch so far. Agreed. We haven't seen enough. And Armen, he's played well game 1.
I do like your point though. The DK also, you can get stunned. You just level stun in the offlane. You got Lina, Ember. Ember can definitely suffer, especially if he's also got ET at his back. That lane could actually go pretty well for the side of Hellbear Smashers. But yeah, I think Bristle's he's gonna get out of control. Armen. He was the MVP for me for the last game, so I'm looking at him again for this one.
Can the stand-in do it again? Can Armen take control of this game as the Bristleback? We're gonna find out here in the 2nd game. And we're heading over to Cap and Kyle for it.
off games happen, and it seemed like that last game was a bit of an off game for almost everyone, excluding RMN. He played fantastic, and he is somebody we're going to be looking at game 2 if Nigma want to be able to close out the series 2-0.
Yeah, indeed, and I like the way that they've set things up again. RMN gonna take the bristleback mid. I learned the secret to this hero way back in 2011. After a late night with no tail, he gave it to me straight. WWWW. If you can pull that off, you'll be an S tier bristle in no time. And I love the draft. A bit of weird movement. We saw Timbersaw picked into AA, and then later in the draft we saw Smashers take DK into Timbersaw. So just a matter of how these teams value these heroes, they'll draft them even into what most would consider hard counters. But I do like, honestly, what both teams have. The Pugna AA combo is pretty solid. It's something that Crow and the boys would know well. That was a huge staple of their drafts back at TI7 when they took home the title.
So do you feel like some of these weirder picks, we're going to watch Kuro? He's dead. Right?
Maybe.
Certainly dead. Rasmus is going to be the one to take first blood. Seemed like Smashers didn't really quibble over who was taking the last hit. They all just kind of went for it. And they'll get the 2 bounty runes split still.
Yeah, I like Rasmus putting himself on the DK. You know, he's had enough Ravage, way too long of a cooldown. It's tough to use appropriately. DK stun, you just throw that out on anybody. It'll be back up again, no problem.
Also very different in the aspect of one takes towers, the other defends towers, right? It feels like in some ways Smashers said, okay, can we take the tempo this game, guys? Because I don't want to let Nigma just run at us like they were doing and try and defend every tower. Let's actually... let's do that to them a little bit.
Captaining from the off lane is already hard enough. When you put yourself on a hero that has this massive cooldown, it's just annoying. You can't do things. So you're trying to make calls, but at the same time, your fear and your lack of cooldown kind of prevent you from helping the team get active, because you're just useless for 2 minutes at a time.
This lane is kind of an interesting one because Elder Titan, one of the best laners in the game, no doubt. But DK can kind of deal with that aggression thanks to his inherent armor. He's also got a stun, which helps a lot against melee heroes. And then that stun can lean into Lina doing a whole bunch of damage. So
I'd like to see him get the stun as well. And you can do a lot of work with Gilgir up here.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Dragon Knights do that over the last like 6 months. You know, level the Dragon Tail just to secure CS, and in this lane, it's got the extra benefit of setting up a Light Strike Array.
Yep. My eyes are on the mid lane though. Stormer specifically, I think has got to play a bit better. He had multiple deaths in the previous game that were just straight up his mistakes. Pugna, similar high risk, high reward. He's going to need to know his limits a bit better. His hero is so key in this game against all these strength heroes.
Yeah, I mean, he's got plenty of ways to kind of defend himself with Decrepify. He's life drain, can actually compete against a lot of these strength heroes that are damage over time. ILTW actually copping a lot of damage here. Gilgir can keep chasing him, and he's got another LSA. ILTW put himself in a bit of danger here. Nice. The Slight is going to be able to dodge it, but there's still a couple more shots coming in. Fortunately, Rasmus does not have Breathe Fire right now. Gilgir would really like to take away that healing salve, but at least they keep ILTW out of CS range for a while.
I was going to say, Rasmus, go help your boy.
And they turn right back around, start hitting Kuro back.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's a really aggressive lane up top. Nobody feels happy laning here. It's like, I just want to CS instead of got to keep dealing with this guy trying to hit me in the face instead. Bottom lane GH, you got to be careful here. Ace wants to land the stun into Cold Feet combo. That's effectively 100% guaranteed, but if you go Shadow Realm, that'll of course disjoint the Wraith King Wraithfire Blast. But expect this lane to get a little harder for Smashers the longer it goes. Mind control on Timber.
Mind control Timbersaw can definitely start taking over the lane. So all important to try and win it now while you can. And they're doing a good job of it. 19-2 for the Wraith King. Though the Timbersaw has pretty good CS as well.
Nice juke there. GH dodging the stun.
That's for me.
Let's see. All right, man. I want to also make sure that we see some stacking come out from GH. The benefit of having this Timber is that at a point you'll be able to ditch. He'll have enough armor stacks that he's just not going to go down. And then he can look to get hard camp and ancient stacks going, which will be very nice for his mid bristle. Start clearing those as early as level 7 or 8.
Ace going to be run down here. Bramble's doing a lot of work. Ace still has his stun to protect himself if need be. But it's not. And yeah, this is about that time the lane's going to start looking pretty rough. And I don't know if they're going to be able to like rotate. Pugna certainly can deal with Timbersaw. If you have enough disables, then Life Drain start working him.
Yeah.
But
the trouble is that your only real active playmaker this game is actually ILTW. And if you check out the CS, he is not smiling. This lane, you know, we talk a lot about Lina 4 position. It is just so frustrating to deal with. And yes, Sheever, it will be nerfed. Apologies. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it was just 2 patches ago that this hero was the strongest 4 position, and it's showing itself in this patch as well as being one of the best ones. I'm not sure why we rebuffed it.
Me neither.
It was like, this is the strongest 4, and it was like, okay, let's put a damper on this a little bit. And ILTW may actually still be... he's fine. He
was actually dead there. They miscued. They landed both stuns at the same time. Rasmus was spamming it because he was losing vision in the trees, and then Gilger hit his LSA, but the overlap means that that will be an Ember that survives and also collects a free salve courtesy of Kuro. But this is just an impossible lane thus far for the Ember Spirit. Finally has 2 points Flame Guard, but definitely not feeling good.
800 gold spent on consumable. What is his net worth right now? Show me Tofu's net worth. I need to see this. All right, so he's, since the start of the game, he's netted himself about 250 gold.
Hey. Could be worse. This is where the Bristleback's lane becomes untenable. You can't really do much against a Stormstormer Pugna that just drains you.
Yep. And this is where Stormstormer needs to be able to appropriately pressure. Nice LSA. Making use of that added AoE. He's still dead, though, because there was that rotation from GH as Gilger will be found in the jungle.
Yeah, you're all right with this, though.
Yeah, 3 heroes, and DK's still farming. Can't really do anything to him right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, same is true for MC on the Timber, as we watch him just pressure poor Tofu.
Yeah, and GH can rotate. What does Tofu do in this game?
Yeah.
What do you do as an ancient apparition at this point?
You're just sad, man. Speaking of sad, RMN, same deal. The big difference here for Hellbear Smashers, and I like this change, they actually have tower damage, Cap. Previous game, they had nada. This time, you can actually do stuff in the mid game. A big part of why that last match was so hard for them was they lost their tier 1 mid and their tier 1 top before they even really got any pressure going. They had to backdoor towers and hit them for 15 seconds just to get the structure damage. And this time, it'll be a lot simpler for them.
You can see Stormstormer, like, I like that him as Pugna, he treats taking this tower as like a hugely important objective. He's really trying to take it as quick as possible so he can start rotating around and helping some of his side lanes. Maybe even empty out that mid lane for someone like Tofu, who doesn't currently have a lane to play in.
It's just so funny watching Armin. I don't think that's gonna... I thought he was actually just gonna decrep and drain there, but wants to go buy his arcanes, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what I expected to see. You can see Armin, he's pulling the creep wave, likely over to the jungle. I think he should have done that a bit earlier. I've seen some bristles do that as early as 3-4 minutes into the game to make it a part of their rune control, but also allows them to accelerate their farm.
Now the tri-lane comes to top. The Dragonite, it's a good time. He's level 6. They just add in the Ancient Apparition. Just another body to kind of join in. It's not like he's helping bottom lane anyway. And they can go ahead and start hitting that safe lane tower together.
Yep.
Or they're actually going to fake it out of here a little bit. They're moving both the supports to mid.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Armin's gonna stack the Ancients. Nice job.
Where are the supports going? Okay, he just stacks. That's it.
Tofu would love a lane somewhere, but it doesn't really exist. It's a tough AA game. 3 cores that are really happy to just run at you. They do get the ward. Well done. That's something.
Ooh, ooh. Barely living there, GH.
Share in your wisdom, Titan.
Dire's middle tower.
Okay, is he dead? He's dead. And Gilger very likely had his life traded out, but the DK could still come over and help him, certainly. He's going to hit the stun onto 2, the LSA onto 2 as well. Rasmus keeps him back and keeps Gilger alive.
Yeah. Radiant's bottom tower.
That is the timber factor we can witness in the bottom lane. There's nothing you can do. It's why this hero is a first pick. It's why they're willing to take it into even the AA counter.
Oh, hey!
Hey!
A fairy's trinket!
Just what I always wanted.
Wow. Like he was destined.
They have DK form ready. Expect Mind Control to TP top momentarily, though, as he is your counter pusher. Picks up the hood. Maybe they just give it up. He'll defend mid, if anything.
I mean, one
he's
problem.
coming.
Okay.
Top tower.
A little late,
Yeah,
but he's here.
It's very dead. They really need to like actually catch these heroes. Otherwise, they just made everybody go top lane without a good fight. Okay, Rasmus, you should be able to catch him in at least this stun. As, yeah, with the Timber Saw coming through, that'll cut him down to size pretty quickly. See if they can chase after and get a little bit more here. There's not much to slow him down, but there is the tier 2 coming up soon. Stormer turns around, goes for life drain. It keeps him alive for a little bit longer, but yes, Nigma in their rotation do manage to kill 2 cores. And maybe even take an Ancient stack as well.
That was really well done by Nigma there. They had to collapse. Like, as you said, they brought 5. You need to be able to pursue and get kills. The downside of the draft, limited disable, but they have incredible damage, and they're just untargetable. MC is actually playing like the role of initiator. It's the second kill he's picked up with handy chakram and body usage.
I will say, those last 2 deaths are totally unnecessary, right?
True.
Like that was just a bit of a mystery. I understand Stormer's like, oh, I don't want to leave my captain behind and stuff, but like, there's 5 people. Like, you know, you could just take the L. Yeah. It's a small L. It's a lowercase L.
When you're healing somebody that dies, it's like that. Yeah, it's like when you ever seen the scenes in the movie where the guy is distracting the lions, raptors, whatever the creature is. He's like, hey, over here.
Yeah.
And then they start running after you.
Oh yeah.
You got to think that far.
Moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Why did I think this was a good idea? Yeah. Because now you've just been hurting yourself. Your frontliner's gone. Mind Control is being chased down right now. He's got a Dragon Tail in a second. If they can actually hit it with stopping it from Timber Chain, they do. And they get the kill. Mind Control falls.
A big rotation used, but worth it. Also, love the build from Ace. He's been off-screen farming, but top net worth, and he has the Armlet build. This was not a Midas or Radiance game. Armlet. The plus armor, super effective against ET, and it's necessary to be able to go toe-to-toe with heroes like Bristle and Ember Spirit. GH with a handy solo kill. Gilger looking to chase.
Tofu's not having a fun time playing this 1v1 game against GH. Ancient Apparition against Dark Willow. You're just like the freest kill. GH, nice jukes here, ensuring that the LSA doesn't catch him, but Decrepify still going to slow him down. They'll eventually get this kill. Terrorize.
He's still got TP.
He still does have a TP. He's going to get into the trees and try and TP maybe one Shadow Realm stuff, but they just need AoE damage to kill him. A little bit more space, I guess.
Like he's playing one of those Aghanim's Labyrinth levels. The traps, which depending on your group of friends, you either were auto-skipping or always going for. The caster stack, you had to skip those. We had some players who couldn't handle the traps.
I was always a trap clearer.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I was the person that pinged, like, click here, then click here. You can do it. And yet some people still mess it up. It was a good litmus test.
For who could click buttons.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Echo Saber. Have we seen this? A couple of the regions. The Echo Saber after the Armlet. It's the efficient build, right? It's so that you might not necessarily be picking fights, but you're always ready to fight. And it does help you scale significantly.
Big amount of burst damage. Rasmus, he is very tanky, but Timbersaw, it just makes these strength heroes look so easy to deal with. And Dark Willow's another one of those heroes that feels like she cuts down these big tanks as well because she just seems to have unlimited damage.
Yeah, most definitely. What will be the play? Let's see. Aether Lens on the Pugna. You'll soon on Gilger. Rasmus just rushing a blink. Poor Tofu, man. He's just getting ran at all times.
Yeah, he really is. Cold Feet will get him some distance. Over there in Triangle, Gilger's being run at here by GH. And now, oh, this is a big kill. Getting Stormer. They're going to use the Terrorize to make sure he can't life drain anymore. And with this kill, quick and fast, is the Hellbear Smashers, they're kind of just playing 4, but not necessarily together and they're just getting picked off all the time.
Well, that's the thing. Ace with his build, I figured would be in a much more active scenario, but it's just really weird the way this is being played out because Nigma are playing the draft. Like, look at the tier 1. They're not even bothering with it. They've warded strictly to Slay. They're now going towards mid for the more valuable tower. Armin in trouble, though. Has the hood.
He does have GH next to him as well. Here comes Mind Control. They're going to start kiting backwards here. Rasmus is going to be stunned up in the dangerous thing. Mind Control's coming in, but he's getting a little low on mana. Rasmus building up on the minus armor thanks to the Viscous Nasal Goo. Wow. Looks like it's going to be Mind Control who's the victim of the over-aggression. And Ace is actually going to be joining in on the fight now. Almost killing GH. Stormer not able to catch up, though. And they just seem to have... Is it weird that, like, they've got stuns, but it feels like Hellbear Smashers are lacking in disables somehow. They just can't seem to
I was about to say both teams don't really have stuns, but then I'm like, wait, but how do they have so many of them? It's just the lack of initiation tool. The blink should help, but it's just a problem where, you know, the 2 cores of Nigma are just kind of running rampant, and they somehow seem to find Tofu and Gilger at the start of every fight. It's really just Rasmus that has to be there.
Yeah.
Ace has to be there so that they can, you know, stun heroes and actually fight, which allows them, their spellcasters, to position properly.
No, that's definitely what it is. I feel like Tofu's never with a stunning hero.
Yeah.
And it's also never Tofu plus Gilger plus a stunner all in the same area, so they could just boom, 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 that hero's dead.
You saw the combo. Like, in a DK stun, the Timber died because there was so much magical burst. They don't even need auto attacks. But this is the problem, is that oh, nice deny.
They're going to try and go for RMN here. He's facing the right direction, too, for them to be able to burst him down. Nicely done. They've got burst damage to kill any of these guys. Timberside's actually going to go back into this one. The life drain keeping Stormer alive, but the Terrorize now going to fear him out. He may be rooted, though. Mind Control's not going to be able to catch up to Stormer. They've got some more magic damage, and he's dead as well. Ace actually was able to chase down Kuro. They're still going to try and chase after ILTW, but he's a slippery fella. And look at GH. He's just waiting for the pickoff. He's waiting for one of these supports to be off by themselves or something.
Dire's top tower.
I mean, this is kind of Smasher's game. Like, if you look at the way that Nigma have been forced to itemize, it's a first item hood on the Bristle, a rushed pipe on the Timbersaw, but they need more than that. They need defensive dispels. They need Lotuses, they need Yules, maybe even a BKB on the Bristle. Just because of the threat. You know, a stun into the magical burst is just, you cannot live. There's nothing you can really do other than avoid or remove some of these spells. And Ags will be the build-up for ILTW. He has a Maelstrom, but not having the greatest game, to be quite fair. His lane was rough. And the damage output for Nigma will be there, but they need to somehow pick off the supports to start. And now I think that Smashers, they've got the memo. Like, look at this.
Fights are going really well when we're around each other, guys.
Tofu's like, I'm going to keep you between the enemy now. And this is perfect. Like, look at this. This is exactly what you want to see. They're on the same screen, but Tofu in the safer part of it.
Tier 2 items are out. There's the Blink Dagger from the Wraith King. So now, initiation's getting, like, really straightforward for Hellbear Smashers. Double Blink Daggers, double frontline heroes that can create space for our spellcaster to make sure they hit all of their spells. But Nigma, they're going to get on top of him first with the ILTW leading the charge. He managed to find Tofu. The stun coming out, Dragon Tail, the Ice Blast as well. Onto Mind Control with the life drain. They managed to burn out the Timbersaw. But RMN is right up in their face. He's doing more and more damage over time to Rasmus, but he's chased away by the life drain. The Terrorize is going to be used to make sure the Pugnut is not a factor. Ace, they can't really deal with him, and as they try and run away, here come the Blink Daggers. Ace is going to be able to blink forward as well in a second here. Oh, got hit by the Quills. And looks like maybe he's going to opt not to chase.
Man, I love this build from Ace, though. This is actually so sick. His sustain is insane. He kept the Possessed Mask as well, so the lifesteal, like, he's full health, just 3 clicks on Ancients. and he's not really targetable in the fights. His net worth is keeping up because Nigma don't have a true hard carry. They're basically running 3 2s. He will be the strongest hero on map. And the way he's itemized, it's that it starts now.
Now they've got a Yules on Gilger. Here comes the Ice Blast. I mean, these strength heroes are just ripped apart by a lot of this magic damage plus Ice Blast combination. RMN barely surviving here. And this is looking like now Nigma, they can turn the tides a little bit here. Start poking at Ace first, seeing if they can take away his first life. Hellbear Smashers trying to help him out here. The life drain keeps him alive for a little bit longer. Turns around, does a good amount of damage to Mind Control. Resetting up now. The stomp. Oh, managed to blink away before he's hit by that one.
Slight miscue from Kuro there. I think his spirit was mispositioned. Otherwise, it should have stopped the blink as he came up. Just facing away, so shouldn't have been able to blink there, but alas, I don't know if you want to fight that anyway. Hold up.
Back line, but they found Mind Control first. They're going to get the jump here. A long timber chain through. They just need a little bit more damage, and Stormstormers got that damage to finish him off. Tofu, he will be the victim here, but that is fine for Stormstormers, especially as they get a return kill on a GH who couldn't actually get off the Shadow Realm. He gets zapped down by the Nether Ward. Rasmus sees his opportunity to be able to get fresh initiation onto the Ember Spears. They have chain stuns. He's dead. Triple kill for Stormstormer as they could just keep chasing these zeros down. The only thing that's stopping them from blinking and catching up is the Quills, but Gilger, he can certainly run him down, missing the LSA. He does still have the Yules. You're gonna look for Kuro first. Feeling like maybe RMN's a little bit too much to handle, but apparently not everybody got the memo that Rasmus was going for that one. All right.
Dude, say whatever you want. Mind Control's playing like a beast. It's an impossible timber game. He's just consistently targeted at the start of every fight, but he is with no stuns and just a pipe. It feels like he's necessary to land kills because the Chakram is effectively a disable in this game.
Is it just me, or is it again like that whole Rasmus move? That was like a perfect example of like Hellbear Smashers just not on the same page.
Yeah,
it's like they won the fight. There's few heroes left. You either choose to back up and say Bristleback's too tanky, or you can keep going. But whatever you do, you got to do it as a team.
And it's the same as the first game, right? You make this mistake, and now it potentially leads right into a Roche. MC, be careful. Hype a bit late, but it will absorb some of that lasting damage. Can you finish this is the question. Here comes Hellbear.
It's getting a little dicey here. Fortunately, that's a really good sleight of fist. ILTW stunned up, but the rest of the stunners are not close enough by, but they do force them out of the Roshan pit. It's low enough, in fact, that Hellbear Smashers, they could probably just throw the Wraith King in there if they want to. He's got reincarnation. Not going to try for it. Instead, they're going to smoke and wrap themselves all the way around.
Radiant are scanning.
See if they can get up onto the high ground, but Nigma, they know about this, I think, because of that war that was on the high ground. They should know. They're going to be moving over. Smoke from Nigma as well. They're going to break that smoke. ILTW leading the charge to break the smoke, making sure he doesn't get caught. Really nice jumping from Mind Control. So much damage, and he may still... No, he actually gets blasted down pretty quickly, but the damage he did is quite nice. He's going to be able to TP back into this fight as well. There was only one Ice Blast, so now he's coming in, and he's a monster that cannot be stopped. Smashers are immediately out of this fight. They're going to be chased down. It did cost them the buyback on Mind Control, but now Nigma are looking good to be able to finish up that Roshan.
Mind Control proven why he's been a champion player for literally years. Like, the cojones, he knows exactly what the plan is. He's gonna do max damage combo to 2 heroes. He'll die, he'll buy back. To your point, there's only the one Ice Blast that should be able to secure them the Roche. There is a buyback on just the Lina, but I don't think you can fight this anymore.
I don't know. I did read some Reddit comments that definitely said Mind Control was washed up and bad, so...
I mean, look at his net worth. He's got to have most hero damage done at this point, because I'm just watching him consistently land spells on everybody.
Yeah.
All right, it's close.
Expectation.
Either way, look at the net worth. Net worth, you know, you're buying the damage for a lot cheaper, okay?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. So we compare net worth.
How about damage taken? The damage taken numbers.
All right, now damage taken, he's got to be on top of the board, right?
I don't know if we have those numbers.
I bet that's still RMN.
It's possible. Either way, he knows what he has to do, which is mostly just die. He'll be going for the Lotus. They're going to need one of those. Here comes the Ice Blast. Oh no, Mind Control. I'm sorry. I did it to you.
He does have an Aegis, so They're going to be able to take that Aegis away, but if Nigma can make a rotation fast enough, they might be able to punish for this one. Mind Control knows it too. He's going to turn back in, immediately tries to catch somebody. There's the Bramble. They've caught Stormer, and that ends up being, it's not like an Aegis for a full team fight, but that's a great pick-off. Oh, especially if they get Ace as well, but they don't have a stun, so. All right, man, dropping an item there, but of course, Ace is not going to be stopping his TP for anything.
I think you take those. I'm a little shocked, Stormer. You know, talk about builds that have no care for self-preservation. Octarine Core Blink Dagger. He's the save. You know, he's the healing in the back line. And I understand the cast range and the CDR are excellent, but I am very, you know, we've seen even the comms. Like, this is a scenario Kuro's been in before. When in doubt, you're killing the Pugna. That's the strat. That's the game plan. So Storm, you got to be really cautious. I like the warding. If you're Nigma now, it's just about getting vision, finding the back line so that you can bypass the 2 strength cores and just immediately find the AA, the Lina, the Pugna. You take them out quick, give ILTW the jump, that'll be your win condition.
It is a bit concerning, though, that Nigma have been doing okay for themselves in the last couple of fights. I would say they've won the last 2 or 3 engagements, but they're still down 2K net worth. And am I wrong about this? I feel like Wraith King is going to be the biggest, baddest core in the game.
Yes and no. The ET is a bit of an equalizer.
Okay.
Here comes the smoke, and there's now a BKB on the Ember. So in theory, Nigma should have an edge in this fight. And Bristle also, later on in the game, you kite Wraith King very effectively. It's going to be tough for Ace to win this game unless they're able to take team fights starting now in the right manner. Because if you're suddenly 1 carry against 3 cores and number 2, 3, 4 on the net worth chart, that's when it gets really shaky for you.
Yeah.
Dire are scanning.
All right, well, they smoke in aggressively into the enemy jungle here. They can push in the lane, maybe take this tier 2, see if Nigma wants to trade or if they want to defend. It's looking like Nigma may just go for maybe a bit of both. Leave the Bristle back to hit the tier 2 and make a smoke rotation, and Bristleback can TP in. So they're actually going to defend, but they're feinting like they're just trading.
Radiant structures are fortified.
This is a very...
rush forth.
Here it comes. He's going to start TPing in now. Armen shows himself right as the rest of his team is right behind all these. Oh, no, he blinked away. ILTW, he's on the hunt for the Pugna, but now he's been caught by the Yule Scepter LSA. Fortunately, he's got a BKB, so let's shrug that off. The initiation only killing Gilger here so far. Rasmus, he's in pretty far, and he's chasing after Kuro. But the rest of his team may need his stuns. Oh, actually forced them in order to hit the stomp and TP out. That's a cute move. GH, he dies, but immediately finds back. He sees that Ace is definitely dead. And Stormer, well, he's going to turn around and try and go for this kill, but because of the buyback on GH, he's got to terrorize, he's got disables to make sure that the Pugna will be chased down by RMN. And look how fast he's moving. Catching up to Tofu now. Hit so damn hard, but it wasn't quite enough damage.
Man, that was a sick fight. You can see, LTW, he saw the AA, completely ignored him, went straight for the Pugna, but a sick blink by Stormer preserves some sense of ability to fight that out. Nigma still takes the W. Really good play by Crows. You saw the 4-step into the stomp. They kill Ace, which is huge, and they get the Pugna. Kuro, that's a little bolt.
And GH is not going to be help them either because he gets Dragon Tail by Rasmus. Rasmus taking a lot of magic damage here. And this trade-off will be worth it if it's just that 1-for-1 so far. Actually, where did Mind Control die? Oh, that was his buyback death. Never mind.
Yeah, it just took a while.
I forgot he bought back, so he's been dead for a while.
He has the Lotus Orb finally. That was such a rough fight. He actually had Wand there, but he was, I believe, still affected by AA ults. Oh, no, sorry, he wasn't. He died because he used his Timber Chain, and the mana proc killed him. It's really weird playing into Pugna as these heroes like Timber, because you take the burst before the spell cast, and it's just not really, it doesn't feel right.
Gilger needs some help. Decrepify will help him. Bristleback and Ember doing just a lot of physical damage between Slight and Quills. So Decrepify, good way to be able to save your allies there. Gilger trying to work towards an Aghanim Scepter because obviously the pure damage would be super good. All these strength heroes are so dependent on the pipe to make sure they don't get bursted down by Ice Blast plus nukes.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Damage per net worth. Ace having the least, which is not surprising because he has the highest net worth.
Interesting. Okay, well, that last fight threw off, but still, mind control in a handy 4th place. His net worth has gone up, though. So you're getting less value, but overall more damage.
All right. You just keep on. I'll keep handing these straws for you, Kyle. You keep grasping at them, all right?
No worries. It's what I do best. Wraith King, level 18, max out ultimate, has the AC, so that 10 armor switcheroo will be very effective as this game goes later on. It's the best item against an Elder Titan. That is not removed by the natural order.
Y'all care about plate mails or?
Radiant's bottom tower.
And yeah, they're gonna get a Lotus Orb on RMN as well. That's the key item. You needed those dispels. Very good. You'll make Rasmus stun himself. You'll remove the cold feet, the decrep. It's just necessary.
Dire's top tower.
But I mean, credit to Stormstormer. This man, he's really committed to this, you know, now you see me, now you don't style. Glimmer Cape after the blink. Dagon next. No thought to a BKB, armor. No. I'm just going to outplay you.
Yeah, that's like no Aeon Disc as an example. No. Like, what happens if you do get caught by Disable? Like, then you'd have a second plan. But Stormstormer's like, no, they won't catch me in the first place.
Exactly. Like, it worked out for Justin Timberlake in that movie about the magicians, but he had plot armor. I don't think that Kuro and squad are gonna.
You don't think Stormstormer's the protagonist of this story?
I don't know. I'm not sure what the split of the fan base and the viewership is, but in my experience, it's typically a little more Nigma favored.
Yeah, just a tad, just a tad. Something about winning that TI gives you a lot of fans.
Yeah.
You know? Something about being a storied legend like Kuro helps a bit. Man, you actually... So many old school captains, man. Rasmus has been around since Dota 1 as well as Kuro.
Yeah.
It's like...
And that's why we shouldn't understand what's on the line here. You know, Nigma, they're up a game, but keep in mind, like, Kuro has never missed a TI. I believe there's only 2 players that can say that.
Yeah.
It's Kuro and Puppy. And Puppy's got his ticket punched. Kuro, you know... They need this win. They need to be at the major, and they likely need a top 3 performance at worst in order to qualify on points. Otherwise, you know, we've seen over the last couple days just how stacked this region is.
Yeah,
Alliance beating everybody.
The next major, this region isn't looking too hot for points to TI. Yeah. Which means the field is going to be really competitive for that one slot.
Imagine like an OG versus Nigma qualifier finals.
Yeah.
Like the TI rematch, loser stays home, winner gets to go play for 40 million with the added benefit of a month and a half extra to work on the roster, iron out the kinks, and get back into championship form. But I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We got Roche. Here comes the big battle.
Rasmus inside of the pit. Immediately going to find the opening here. Onto mind control. They can burst him down nice and fast. They do. Laguna play. That certainly does the trick. Half his health and he's just gone. ILTW jumping in real deep to go for Gilgir here. But the old scepter into the LSA is going to force out. No, he actually holds on to the BKB. Jumping over like a madman. Now he pops the BKB. He sees Ace a little bit low and they're going to go for that kill. Now he does still have reincarnation and he's toggling his armlets. So he's kiting out Nigma very nicely with the BKB used and a support traded out for core. I guess they didn't have to buy back on Stormstormer.
Probably not.
Not the plot armor that he was hoping for.
No, not at all. And you can see the downside of this item build. As soon as he gets caught, he's dead. There's no save. He is the save, and he's playing as if he's just better than everybody on this field. And so far, yet to prove that, but we'll see. Maybe this smoke will give him a chance at redemption.
Radiant are scanning. Radiant's
even
bottom
game.
Tower is under attack.
Right now, 4-on-4. They get the scan, but it's still spooky.
It's good that they move all the way around like this. Otherwise, their smoke would have broken and they would have been spotted by the ward. Now the smoke breaks. Tofu is the one that breaks on. Ace immediately jumps forward. Oh, goodness. There goes Kuro, but he buys back almost immediately. Rasmus down to about half health. The Ice Blast is going to come through. The Bristleback is a pretty decent target, but they don't have any more nukes left, it's looking like. A Stormstormer is going to be gone on the Spider Legs wall to carry him so far to Crepify, and he's just out. Rasmus, he's going to have to battle it out with Ace alone here, so the supports are easily going to be chased down, but they just do not have the power anymore. TP away for one. That fails. Ace, he'll be okay. Lena will be cleaned up here, but it's looking like Nigma can very easily... I wonder, are they going to do Roshan here? Or are they going to go and just hit towers? All right, they decide on Roshan. They're like, all right, it's second Rosh. It's a value one.
I mean, it's just Nigma looking to kill the Pugna, and the Pugna can't do anything about it, Cap.
Yeah.
And dies, buyback, dies again. With him gone, the damage output of Smashers kind of disappears. Tofu, unfortunately, didn't really get with the team. He had the smoke broken, which then pushes him and Stormstormer to the left as the DK Wraith King get a nice kill on Kuro. Buyback, TP into the outpost.
Yeah.
Suddenly, you're now just a team that's out of position, and the numbers are even. So just unfortunate there for the Hellbear Smashers. Once again, just that little bit of disconnect hurts them in the end.
You want all that attention on the initiation that came out from Hellbear Smashers. You want them to see DK and Wraith King jump to us, boys, get them. And then your backline spellcasters have the free space, but that wasn't quite what happened. They do finally have the Aghanim Scepter for the Lina, so there's still the possibility that with a stun and then an Ice Blast plus Lina's full combo, they can bring down any of these heroes, but they just need to find the right openings here. And also got to be careful of the Aegis, Cheese, and potential buybacks.
Who took the shard? I think Ember Spirit did. So the Remnants now refresh if he gets a kill, and they also do that AoE damage. Really love how LTW's played this game. I think the itemization was perfect. The BKB so that he could fight, and now the Ags so he can fight the right targets.
Yule's just in time from GH. Counter Yule's by Gilger, but of course he's very, very stuck. And Hellbear Smashers looking a little bit lost now. So they're going to have to hold on to the high ground and hope that Nigma somehow make a fatal error. $7,000 net worth lead for Nigma at 35 minutes in, 20-26. This is the second game of the series with Nigma already leading 1-0.
Look!
What?
Look!
What?
BKB queued up, Cap.
Oh.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's a good item.
That's a great item.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Makes you immune to spells, stuns, disables. It's fantastic. I recommend everybody at home. You should pick one of those up.
Like right now, or
whenever you want, really.
Okay.
I don't think, you know, there's oftentimes
Radiant's top tower
it might not be the perfect item,
top tower has fallen.
but I have not heard many coaches, casters, analysts, pro players ever say it was a really bad idea to buy that BKB.
Yeah, bad BKB game, really.
Never happens. So I remember talking to my brother about first picking Rubik, and he's like, you know, what if they counter? It's like, you can't counter Rubik. You can't just pick bad spells. It doesn't work.
You and I.
Okay, Gilger chained outside of the base. That's not your backline spellcaster in the position he wants to be in. Fortunately, 4 staffs are a thing. Gets away. Nice D-ward already placed. You can see these teams have a very similar idea in both of these games of where their vision wants to be, because they know where the fights are very likely going to be happening. Our man just loves dropping items around. LTW in deep here. Can they get the stun on him? No, he gets off the BKB off of the slight, and Gilger, well, he turns around, throws out the Laguna Blade, but of course he should be rather dead here. The Glimmer King plus Decrepify offering him some opportunity, but LTW not hit by the LSA, so Gilger is caught once again. Minute on the clock for him, and Smashers are gonna have to, once again, head back inside their base, unless Ace, he's gonna go for Kuro here. He knows does not have buyback right now. Light Drain doing a lot of damage to the Timbersaw, he pops the cheese. He's gonna be back up to full health, and Rasmus being run down by LTW and all that magic damage. First life of Ace gone. LTW getting a little bit low here, but he still has a minute on the Aegis, so he's willing to play that dangerous frontline position for his team. Nigma, another successful fight, but they don't push it too much. They just hold the base or hold the map a little bit longer.
Yeah, they need to chill a little bit. They ran out of remnants. LTW is probably saying, guys, it doesn't matter if I respawn here. I will not really have that many tools to help you out. I love the build, too. The Aether Lens Octarine. Not really a build we see too often anymore on the Ember Spirit, but it's so good here. Just because he's catch, and really it's not about the damage, it's about finding it onto the right targets, and consistently Lina, AA, Pugna, all guns blazing for those heroes.
May not have the DK, and they won't have Dragon Form when he's back up, but Smashers are still willing to try and take the fight. You see RMN with his fresh overwhelming blink.
It's a good
level 25.
It's a good title for the way that they're trying to play this game, which is just straight up get in, overwhelm the backlines, ignore Ace. Who cares about him? He's not really able to deal enough damage to these 3 cores of Nigma.
Yeah, they're going to start poking at him now because he's the only hero that's outside of the base. Rasmus popping his BKB to try and get initiation here.
RMN feeling himself. I don't really see Nigma ever all chat like with their voice line spam.
Yeah.
But RMN, you know,
RMN's like,
this much time in the sun, you know?
What do you Curry? Are you going to kick me as a player? I'm just standing in right now.
And no BKB on Rasmus now. No net worth to speak of either. He's just a blink BKB bot at this point. And unfortunately, Nigma, now that they've had that time to itemize, you know, 3k health on the Bristle, 3k health and a BKB on the Ember, 3.2 on Mind Control, along with that Aeon Disc, plus all these Lotus Orbs, suddenly that 100-0 and a stun lock isn't really possible. And oh, they got him. No BKB, they know it.
Yeah, and that's why they jump him, and that's why Ace is trying to bail him out right now with a live drain. They're trying to keep Rasmus alive, and it's doing a little bit of work, but Rolling stalls inevitable for a couple more seconds. He's going to buy back now because Ace desperately needs the trouble. They're trying to save each other, but it just means they're all going to drown as Nigma start washing over them bit by bit. ILTW is fearless as he continues to charge in after hero. He bounces in and out when he needs to. Gilger somehow making it and running the opposite direction of his base in order to try and stay alive. But ILTW catches up to him. He got buybacks, so Hellbear Smashers, they're not out of it just yet, but the net worth difference here is growing quite a bit.
Yeah. It's just so hard. There's too much catch, and you could see Stormer that whole fight, he didn't leave his base. He recognizes the moment I identify myself, you know, they're just going to come for me, and he still doesn't have a BKB, so there's really nothing he can do. You know, no force stab. Oh, hey, they found him.
But on the left-hand side here, he's not too far away from his base, so we could probably still get out of here. Rasmus, the rest of his dragon form, has failed out here. Tofu having a TP from his base to his fountain.
Yeah, and the BKB used by the Ember, sure, but he's already down to the minimum duration. So no big deal. The Octarine as well. It's a less than 1 minute cooldown. Let's see, what's the saving grace? Trying to see, how do you get back into this if you're Hellbear Smashers? Ace, he's going for the Swift Blink. It'll help, but it's just like, who do you kill?
Yeah, they need a way to be able to control up ILTW because he's doing so much damage in these fights. Rasmus is out way deep. Maybe he can blink. He does. Now, this is an opportunity maybe for somebody to help him out, but it looks like maybe he's still too far away. BKB going to be used. The Ice Blast actually will hit Mind Control here. The Aeon Disc will keep him topped off. So no chance at a rebuttal from Hellbear Smashers. Ace also being found here, this time on the other side of the map. Hellbear Smashers split all over the place. They're running out to try and save Ace here on the second life, but Mind Control's here, so that second life of Ace, it's going to go down real quickly with the Terrorize and the Whirling Death. Yeah, you could see Ace just... Hellbear Smashers, they just seem to be out of it right now. They are getting picked apart constantly, and as they're getting picked apart, they seem to be more desperate to try and split push, and it just means Nigma are finding more and more opportunities to pick them apart. Vicious cycle. And now, without the frontliners, these backline supports and even Stormer, they look awfully scared for their lives here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
LTW and RMN have played a hell of a game. 15-1-11 on the Ember, RMN 8-1 and 14, but just playing so clean everywhere, like just constantly diving and Now we have a BKB on Stormstormer. There still isn't one on Ace, and you can see there's just too much control for him to deal with. He got off 3 attacks and 2 lives.
Retreat, retreat, retreat. Stormstormer keeps on poking at them and blinking away before he gets caught, but the problem is he's losing objectives in the process. Second lane of barracks, first lane of barracks rather, down. Nigma can start working towards the second one that they want, but the Wraith King is coming back up. They saved the Wraith King's buyback because ultimately 5-on-5s are hard enough, and they do not have a buyback on Rasmus, so a 4-on-5 seems near impossible.
LTW just styling. Got the Glepnir completed. I don't know if I've ever seen this item in a professional game when it wasn't in this setting. It's like, well, I'm just out of slots. Like, I need something. But even more control now. Arcane Rune to boot. He is incredibly tanky.
Certainly help him catch Stormstormer and those squishy supports a lot easier.
Yeah, he has the Arcane Rune, and finally near full remnants. Up to 4 charges. It's more than he's had in what feels like 2 minutes, or 2 hours.
Here he joins and immediately jumps on, gets the Gleipnir onto the 2 supports. A Yule Scepter from Gilker, but he doesn't have anything to get himself out of this sticky situation. Ace starts backing up. This fight's already over. Hellbear Smashers. Back to the base they go. LTW looking to catch some extras. They will manage to find Tofu here. He gets off the Ice Blast last second. Just before he dies, either one of the supports has a buyback now. Rasmus approaching forward, Gleipnir onto the 2. They can keep chasing him as Rasmus is dead, and they know there's no buybacks left. They can just kind of keep running at Ace.
Radiant's middle
Man, talk about an Arcane Rune being value.
Yeah, seriously. He is all over the place. ILTW now popping the BKB before Ace can hit him with the stun.
Radiant's top tower has fallen. Radiant's top barracks are under
And
attack.
even when Stormstormer is able to just chill out inside of his fountain,
Radiant's top barracks
Nigma can
has fallen.
still win this fight. But instead, they're going to opt for objectives, get megas, while Hellbear Smashers don't have the buybacks. Time to put an end to this series. It's looking like as Stormstormer steps forward and finally does get caught. He's going to use the BKB, clear off all those stuns.
And don't forget also, just Turo with his spirit is removing all of these heroes in a magical resist.
Yeah.
It's a very chill ET game.
Gilger coming back. Tries out. Stormstormer does have a play. They do manage to get the kill, and he actually doesn't have buyback. So they get megas, but Nigma won't be able to end the game just yet, especially if they can actually get these kills. Ace is going in deep here, and he's going to die, slowing everybody down, giving an opportunity for more of spells to be casted on Nigma. They've now killed 2 of the cores, and everybody else is free for them. And just as long as they have the disables to be able to catch them, all of these kills should be theirs. Hellbear Smashers finally winning a fight. Feels like they've lost the last 10, 15 engagements. They finally win one, but it comes at a cost of megas.
Is it a Pyrrhic victory? Pyrrhic victory? I don't know how the hell to pronounce
Yeah, but yeah, P-Y-R.
See, I can spell it better than I could say it, but I'm not going to try to do that either.
Pyrrhic, I believe, is the term.
Either way, they get some time to collect themselves.
Sure.
Consider the status of their base. Roshan is available with the refresher. You know, they're not out of it. I mean, talk about a rapier hero. It's queued, and Ace, he's thinking about it. He'll have the gold. ILTW just, the burst damage, I think, yeah, the Laguna just shreds him. But he is also under tier 2s, and there are 5 heroes there.
Yeah, he pretty much committed to kill Stormstormer, barely missed out on the kill.
Radiant.
It's not over. Rapier is selected. He's going to have Aegis on the Wraith King.
Okay.
This game is not over yet. They just have to deal with ILTW. Now, keep in mind, check out the buyback status. They don't have any on this dire side. Not a single, Mind Control, of course, he's got his. One responsible player on the team. Everybody else, not got the gold. Okay.
They're 2 responsible players.
I guess ILTW's got his soon. He'll have to farm up a little bit, but, you know, just be conservative. push the lanes, poke and prod, let the creeps do most of the work.
I'll take that.
Who took the
Refresher? Wraith King.
Oh, it's refresher. Okay.
They might have preferred an Ags, but actually don't even know who it would have gone to.
Oh, it was maybe Wraith King.
Yeah,
Just because everybody's having struggling to stay alive. If they die, at least they can get some spells off.
We
still.
don't see more Wraith King Ags. It's pretty bonkers. Like, it's one thing, it's like, okay, we survive an extra 7 seconds. You also get 70 attack speed, 25 move speed. 25% move speed.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty good. You can still spell cast and, like, auto attack.
Really is.
You're untargetable.
Return of the King sort of situation. These ghosts just swarming over you.
That's the only part, by the way, of the entire trilogy that was a bit off to me. It's like, why didn't we just, like, I understand the whole thing with the oath and everything, but couldn't we just extend that to, hey, go get rid of all the bad guys?
He gets a couple of swings onto ILTW. The Ice Blast is coming in as well. That's also going to land onto ILTW, but his BKB is keeping him rather healthy here. Gilger going to be chain stunned up right now, but Rasmus does manage to get in there. The problem is the damage, even with the Divine Rapier, is looking kind of wimpy. Nigma just continue to kite around Ace constantly while killing all of his allies. Ace has got another blink coming up here. So you can jump back in. No, they're going to hold around the tier 4s while their Lena's dead, but right there, mind control missing out. Chain just a little bit shy. Definitely could have killed Rasmus. May end up losing his life as a result. Trades out for Rasmus here. Ace trying to find something to hit, but good golly, Miss Molly, he just cannot seem to actually hit heroes for very long. He just kited around constantly. Stormer, committed, and inside of the fountain, ILTW does manage to get him. Make a creep swarming in. Stormer's going to buy back here, but look at this. This damage. This Pugnut just doesn't do anything. Half the time he's being Lotus Orb, so RMN is getting a life drain right back onto him. The other half of the time, it's Ace. He gets like 2 swings in, and then he either dies or the enemy heroes run away from him.
He's trying his best cap.
He really is, but at this point, it feels like his throne is going to die before he dies. Stomp lands on a 2. Stormer being caught here. Not too good for the Smashers, as now the throne being at half health. The Ice Blast is going to come through. It's a good play, but it's still, they're rather healthy, especially with Ace being stuck inside the...
is under attack.
Walks away from his throne. Nigma start gunning for it. They do pop the glyph, and that's going to be able to buy them a second chance here as Ace continues to move forward. Eye control jumping outside of the base now, but the creeps keep on pushing forward. Stormer throwing his life on the line, but ILTW in the back will finish it off in style, jumping over and finishing off the throne. A 2-0 as Nigma. They had some fun winning this.
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries as we'll fall now. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow.